bigger in the month of September, but the Phillies found a small way to take Game 1 of the series by putting together base hits and peppering the Nationals pitchers with a dose of singles. Night number 2 was done in bigger fashion with a big lift while they were trailing. Big swings from the middle of the lineup and a record-breaking shot from the big piece. In the end, it all added up to another big September win. An eventful month and a refreshing day here at Citizens Bank Park as the Phillies go for their second straight series sweep. This afternoon, it's Game 3 of a series against the Washington Nationals. And the Phillies begin play today, 3 games up in the National League East. The Braves will take on the New York Mets before they come down here to Philadelphia. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Gary Matthews. Chris Wheeler will be along in just a little bit. Well, last night the Phillies received 3 home runs, one by Jason Worth, the other one by Raul Ibanez, and a big one by Ryan Howard. In fact, Sarge, it was another record-breaking home run for Ryan.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that, Tom. Move over, Pat Burrell, there, as Ryan Howard hit his 252nd home run. Now, take a look at the highlight. His first home run in 04 at Shea Stadium, and more to come here. That's a young Ryan Howard as you take a look at him. Here's his 100th home run, and this one went even further as he hit this ball 505 feet. Boy, I tell you, this guy has power and power to burn. Here's his 200th home run, and he likes to hit against the pitch as he does that again there. Let me have another one, and it ball sounds so loud as it comes off of his bat. Here's his 252nd home run there last night. He picked on a curveball, taking it the opposite way, and when he does that, I tell you what, he is no stopping him whatsoever there. This guy is young, has good power, and he drives in runs. Just take a look there at that record since 06 there. 58 home runs, Tommy, hit then, 149 RBIs, and I got to tell you, without those 16 days on the DL there, he might even have more.
Pretty impressive. 5 straight years of 30 home runs or more, or 100 RBIs or more for Ryan Howard. Well, the Phillies have certainly had a lot of success since the All-Star break. September is a story all by itself, but it goes beyond September, Sarge.
Well, you're absolutely right, though. They get hot in September, and that's how you win division series there. Now, when you take a look at the series there, they've won 8 straight series in the National League East, and that's what you want to do. You want to beat up those teams that are in your division, and that's exactly what they've been doing.
Well, they need to do that for the rest of the year. Every game this year from here on out against the National League East, including this afternoon against the Washington Nationals. Yuneski Maya will make the start for the Nationals. Meanwhile, Joe Blanton, who's been very good since the All-Star break, will take the baseball for the Phils. So a lot going on here at Citizens Bank Park. One thing that we've noticed, Jason Worth is starting to swing a little bit better, and a whole lot of production. We'll get to the lineups in the first pitch when we return. Phillies baseball is Washington Nationals, what a day here in South Philadelphia. Bright sunshine, blue skies, and the Phils with a 6-game winning streak. Phillies with 88 wins, 61 losses. How about this is the exact record from a year ago? The standings, well, the Phillies were in first place last year. Their lead, though, was probably a little higher. Leading it off for the Washington Nationals is Danny Espinosa, the second baseman. Ian Desmond, the shortstop, bats second. Ryan Zimmerman hits third, followed by the cleanup batter, Adam Dunn. Roger Bernardino, the center fielder, hits fifth. Michael Morse bats sixth. And the bottom third of Willie Harris, Ivan Rodriguez, and Yuneski Maya. And today's starting lineup is brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. And they'll face right-hander Joe Blanton, who wheels his pitch better since the All-Star break.
That's always been his M.O., Tom. The guy pitches better after the All-Star break, just like the Phillies seem to play better after the All-Star break, the way they've done again this year. There are the overall numbers on Joe Blanton. He doesn't walk a whole lot of guys, probably gives up more hits than he'd like to. As a result, he has quite a few base runners. Here's our scouting report on it from Southwest Airlines. There's your point about the second half of the year, what he has been able to do. And against Washington, well, they've hit him around a little bit.
He has a lot of no decisions over his last handful of ball games, but still is 3-0 with a 2.75 ERA in his last 6 starts. Let's take a look at the keys to the game. Wheels brought to you by Nissan.
Well, everybody knows that it's going to be really electric here tomorrow night, but think about tomorrow night later and sweep this series, win this afternoon. New pitcher today in Yuneski Maya, a guy they haven't seen, don't have much tape on, so don't be too aggressive too early. You know, maybe take some pitches, figure out what this guy's trying to do.
It's the end of the model year, and Nissan's laying it all on the line. Nissan's bottom line sales event going on now. Well, Danny Espinosa will lead it off for the Nationals for the 3rd straight day. Espinosa's 2 for 9 in the series, 4 for his last for a strike, and we're underway.
And the last 2 games, first 2 games of this series, they've gotten a run in the first inning. And Kyle Kendrick did a good job of limiting the damage last night and keeping them out of a big inning.
Phillies enter today's ball game 27 games over 500. And on the Toyota Major League scoreboard, David Wright's 2-run home run gave the Mets a 2-0 lead. The Braves have answered in their half of the second. It's 2-1 New York in the bottom of the second. Just saw Kyle. Phillies, as we said, 27 games over the 500 mark. It's the highest that they've been over the 500 mark this year. As there's a roller foul up the first base line. They haven't been 28 games over 500 since 1993, when they were 35 games over 500. Even with all the success they've had the last few years, this is their high water mark.
Yeah, and it is amazing when you consider the way that they were struggling right around the All-Star break. In fact, they had gotten to a point, I think they were only 2 games over 500.
1-2 the count to Espinosa. Man, it's low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
48 and 46 after that 3rd loss to the Cardinals on the 21st of July. 2 games over 500 at that point.
And a call, strike 3, right on the inside corner with a changeup. 1 away here in the top of the first.
Good start for Joe. You know, he had a lot of first inning problems. It kind of put that away. As Tom mentioned, that's a changeup that he gets over. And in his last 6 starts, he's 3-0. And 2 earned runs or less in 5 of those 6 starts. And the Phillies are 4-1. So he has pitched a lot better, and they've been winning his starts.
Well, with 1 away, here's Ian Desmond. Desmond's 2 for 8 in the series. He's hit well against the Phillies in his short career. And he takes one at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1.
Now, Joe has gotten away from these big first innings. Now, last time he faced Washington, they got 3 off him before he could blink down there. But he still almost won that game. That was a game that we talked about really turned Brad Lidge's season around. He had a bad game that night, and since then has been very good. And they wound up losing that game, and he got a no decision. There's the first inning run stuff. But it's been better.
It's been better, and he's been working ahead of hitters, and he's worked ahead of the first 2 hitters here this afternoon. One and 2 the count to Ian Desmond. Broke his bat right back to the mound. And Joe walks halfway or trots halfway to first, and then flips over to Ryan Howard. 2 outs. During the 2010 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. Well, now with 2 away, the meat of the Nationals order is due up. Their two best hitters, Ryan Zimmerman and Adam Dunn. Zimmerman has 3 hits in the series. And overall 8 for 21 against Joe with a couple home runs. And Joe starts him off with a fastball inside and low, 1 ball and no strikes. The Nationals are 25.5 games out of first place. And it's been another troublesome season for Washington as Jim Riggleman's crew continues to try to rebuild. They've gotten younger this year than at any point the last handful of years, with the likes of Desmond and Espinosa and Bernardina playing on an everyday basis.
They've tried to build their pitching staff too around some younger guys, but unfortunately injuries have hurt them. The guy last night, Zimmerman, was out for a year. Of course, Strasburg was the cornerstone of their franchise, and he's out at least a year. The bullpen's better. They can thankfully the Phillies have had leads, so they haven't had to deal with the back end of their bullpen. The games that they've been winning lately have been because they've had a lead and been able to hold it, something that they really haven't been able to do that much throughout their young existence.
Line drive, foul.
So Adam Dunn there on deck. Don't know whether he's going to be part of their future or not. He's a free agent at the end of the year.
Well, they had talked about keeping him, and he talked about staying in Washington, but as he's gotten older, he also wants to win. Ivan Rodriguez has 1 more year left on his contract. 2-2 the count to Zimmerman. Swing and a miss. He got him. High inside fastball. Second strikeout here of the first for Joe Blanton. That's a heck of a start for Big Joe. 1, 2, 3 go the Nationals here at the top of the first. And as Blanton's picked up the strikeout to finish up the inning, the Phils will bat in a scoreless game. To you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off in center field, Shane Victorino. Placido Polanco, the third baseman, bats second. Chase Utley hits third, followed by Ryan Howard, the cleanup batter. Jason Worth is in right field. Raul Ibanez bats sixth. He's in left. And the bottom third of Brian Schneider, Wilson Valdez, who's been red hot, and, of course, Joe Blanton. And they will face 29-year-old right-hander Yuniesky Maya, who the Nationals only signed a little more than a month ago out of Cuba. And he's making his third major league start. Yeah, this is an experienced international pitcher. He has pitched in the World Baseball Classic, pitched in Cuba for a long time with great competition there. We're just going off reports, haven't seen him yet. They say slider is his best pitch. He'll use some different arm angles once in a while. Like a lot of guys that pitch in Cuba, like Livan Hernandez, other guys you've seen, they go out there and they kind of make it up as the game goes along. They'll try to figure out what to do. They'll pitch backwards. They're not real conventional, but what works. And that was my point about trying to see what he features. Just don't go up there and start jumping at everything right away. One of the scouting reports on Maya says that he'll throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at a hitter. Well, that's exactly like Livan. That's exactly like Orlando Hernandez.
Right. Yeah, it's just a different style of baseball.
And there's the breaking ball, the first one, and it's no balls at 2 strikes to Victorino.
Yeah, sometimes you have to go through the lineup the first time, do a recon on a guy, and have a feel for what he's going to try and do with you.
Victorino's riding an 11-game hitting streak. He's 3 for 7 in this series with 3 walks. Well, it is a beautiful day, as we mentioned. Very little breeze, 78 degrees. They say it may hit 80 this afternoon. And a breaking ball, a little high. That's 1-2.
Boy, it is perfect here today. Not a cloud in the sky. Just beautiful. Very little wind to influence anything. There you see how pretty it is.
Well, the weather's supposed to be pretty nice throughout the week, with the Braves coming to town for a 3-game series and the Mets next weekend. 2-2 the count to Shane Victorino. Inside, 3-2.
Throwing a lot of fastballs so far and 2 curveballs.
The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Scott Stetzler of Lenhartsville, Pennsylvania. The Phillies hit a home run in today's ballgame, and Scott will win $100.
Now see if he goes to an off-speed pitch, 3-2, because that's the kind of guys that, you know, that's a Livan Hernandez type of thing. Yep.
And a liner to right field. Morse, boy, he has trouble out there, but he's made every play. It's just that his body language has been very interesting on all of the plays. Hit to right field this series.
He misjudged that one a little bit, but he's so tall he was able to get it. But there's your first indication if you're the Phillies and you're paying attention. As you see the play there by Morse as he misjudged it. The guy just threw a 3-2 breaking ball to the leadoff hitter. Now, if that doesn't tell you he's going to pitch backwards, I don't know what does.
So 1 away, and Maya will face Placido Polanco. He's just 1 for 10 in the series, and he takes a breaking ball for a strike.
These are curveballs, too. He talked about sliders with him, but so far his breaking ball is a curveball.
His curveball ranges from 64 miles an hour to 72 miles an hour. And he comes back in with a fastball, and it's 0-2. Now, he is one of 2 former stars from Cuba on the Nationals roster. Livan Hernandez is, of course, the other one. Livan was part of the press conference earlier this year when the Nationals introduced Maya.
This guy evidently was a bat boy on a team that Livan played on.
Livan and Jose Contreras both were talking one day, and Livan said to Jose, "You remember him? He was 10 years old, and he was our bat boy in Cuba."
Wow, that's a great story.
1-2 the count to Polanco. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
How many tremendous players from Cuba probably never had a chance to play in the United States for obvious political reasons, and so much talent there. There's Contreras.
Now, Jose and Livan both talked about that, how it was nice to see somebody else getting the same opportunity that they received several years ago. To the opposite way, Espinosa gobbles it up, and 2 outs here in the first.
This guy in his first 2 starts has actually pitched pretty well, they say, but he's been victimized by an inning that has hurt him. Last time against the Braves, he got hit with a 4 spot, and the Phillies are notorious for throwing an inning on a guy.
He made his major league debut on the 7th of September against the Mets, allowed 4 runs in 5 innings of work. And then against the Braves on the 13th, allowed 4 runs in 6 innings.
And he had 2 balks in 1 inning in that game. He gave up the 4 in the 1 inning.
Well, here's Chase, who's 1 for 6 in the series, having a heck of a September. Chase is not only driving in runs here in September, he's scoring runs. He has 17 runs batted in. He shares the lead with Ryan Howard, the team lead in RBIs. And he's also scored 12 runs.
Fastball's topped off at 89.90 to this point. So, it almost looks like it's a sinker.
Change up, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Pretty good one. Veteran teams like the Phillies, the hitters are going to go up there and they're going to sit around and talk about this. What did you see? What's he featured? What kind of velocity does he have?
It's kind of interesting. Ivan Rodriguez, before he went down into his catcher stance, put up a couple of signs off of his left hip to Maya, and then he sat down and put the same signs down once Chase Utley settled in. He didn't do it this time. And a cue shot toward third. Zimmerman charges on the run, flips, and it goes off of everybody. And Utley's going to get to second. That's the 17th error of the year for Zimmerman.
He just can't throw anymore. You know, Zimmerman used to be an over-the-top, conventional guy, and for some reason he can't throw the ball the way that he used to. Chase Utley really busts out of there. Now, this flip can be okay on a play like that, but in this case, he gets Zimmerman into the runner. It's a tough play, or a tough play for Dunn as it throws into the runner and he reaches for it. Then Chase sees where it goes and goes to second base. But sooner or later, he's going to have to get out of this,
Absolutely.
what he's doing right now, because it's not going to work.
A single and an E5, so they give Chase a base hit. Adam Dunn, they say, has done everything he can this year to help Ryan Zimmerman out. And there's nothing he could do there. So a scoring opportunity for the Phils with Ryan Howard at the plate. And Ryan takes a fastball up and in. It's 1-0.
No, you throw it into the runner like that, it's really a difficult play for the first baseman. You know, they do the best they can, but, you know, you get your hand in there, you can break your wrist so easily and really get hurt.
1-0 the count to Ryan. Ryan's put together some pretty good numbers here in September. 14 runs scored, 17 RBIs, 6 home runs. And he's reached base safely in now 18 consecutive games. He has 10 walks in his last 5 ball games.
He only has 50 walks this year.
But 10 in his last 5 games.
Well, that was something we were talking about last night was, you know, he seems to have a better approach right now all around and that he's walking a little bit more. But to think that he only has 50 walks and 9 are intentional for the whole year is just gives you an idea of how there was some struggle involved, and they were pitching around him there, and now they're going to walk him.
So runners on first and second after intentional ball 4 to Ryan Howard. So Ryan Howard reached 252 home runs in 863 games. Mike Schmidt reached 252 in 1,126 games. Del Ennis, who is ahead of Ryan right now on the home run list, did it in 1,577 games. That's pretty impressive.
That's fast.
Mike, of course, the all-time home run leader in Phillies history.
Now, Mike got to the major leagues quicker than
Right.
Ryan Howard. Mike was a college kid that out of Ohio University that just got here faster and started his big league career sooner. So, you know, there's an age difference there as far as getting to that number.
There's Jason Worth. He's homered in each of the last 2 ball games.
And Jim Thome was blocking Ryan Howard, too, a little bit.
Well, Ryan has become such a fan favorite. He and Chase have become a foundation, the same kind of foundation Mike Schmidt was when he played for the Phillies. And a slider over for strike 1. (16) of Jason's 23 home runs have also come here at Citizens Bank Park. You saw those numbers in his last few games here at the ballpark. And on the outside corner, 1-2.
Sheeta's fun behind the plate. You know, there's no doubt if it's a strike. Some guys, like last night you're talking about, you know, you're not quite sure right away with Sheeta. You know if it's a strike. He gives a steep right.
Plus, he kicks up his left leg and his arms go sort of in a crisscross motion. Over to left side, Desmond charges on the run, throws out Worth. So the Phillies get a couple of base runners, but they leave both here in the bottom of the first. We've completed 1. We go to the second. It's the Nationals nothing and the Phillies nothing. selection of authentic team gear, including official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your gear straight from the source. Shop thephillies.com shop. Top of the second, scoreless ball game. 2 strikeouts for Joe Blanton so far. It'll be Adam Dunn, Roger Bernardina, and Mike Morse for the Nationals. Dunn is 0 for 7 in the series. That's a towering shot to center. Victorino didn't see it right away. I'm not sure if he sees it yet. Now he does. That's a tough sky when he makes the catch. A lot of O's coming out of the crowd as that ball left the bat from Adam Dunn.
Well, when Adam Dunn hits one, and he hits it high like that, you think, uh-oh, because that's how he hits his home runs. But it didn't sound real good when he hit it. See where he hits it on the bat, off the end, right down near the end, and it still carried really well because the ball is going to carry here today. In a day game, you see Victorino looking up at the tough sun, and there's not very much wind, so the ball will fly this afternoon.
So 1 away. Here's Roger Bernardina. Phillies have held Adam Dunn and Bernardina in check in this series. The two are 0 for 14 combined.
And this is a spot where Josh Willingham would have been hitting. And they miss him. You know, he's been gone for a while now and obviously won't be back. But that guy gave them a real presence in the 5-hole behind Dunn. Made them pitch to Dunn a little bit more. And, you know, nothing against Bernardino as a young player trying to figure it out. But Willingham has figured it out.
Inside and high, 2 balls and 1 strike.
And Willingham liked to hit in this yard a little bit. Whew, that's an understatement.
He liked to hit in this yard. He liked to hit in any yard the Phillies were playing in.
Yeah.
Bernardina from Curacao. And just like Maya was a bat boy for Jose Contreras and Livan Hernandez, Bernardina was a bat boy for Andrew Jones's teams. On a beautiful afternoon for baseball here at Citizens Bank Park, along with Chris Wheeler, I'm Tom McCarthy. Phillies and the Nationals in the final game of this 3-game series. The Phillies have won the first 2. In fact, they've won 6 straight. And they lead the National League East by 3 games over the Braves. And a roller to the right side. Chase Utley has it. 2 outs.
Going to see another guy from Curacao tomorrow night in Jair Jurgens, who will start the first game of the series for the Braves.
Here's Josh Willingham's numbers at Citizens Bank Park, Wheels.
Yeah, 10 homers and 22 runs batted. And of course, he was with Florida before he went to the Washington Nationals and nicknamed the Hammer, and he can hit a fastball. And he had a lot of home runs against the Phillies. See here, of course, in Florida and in Washington.
Jim Riggleman is hoping he's back next year and that Josh Willingham is healthy next year. We say that because Jim Riggleman is working on a 2-year deal, but the second year, I guess it's not as stable as the first year, and there's an option for a third.
There'll be a lot of managerial changes. You see some general managers different in the league next year. I mean, that always happens, but it just seems like there's going to be a little bigger turnover this year.
Jim Riggleman has managed not only here, he's managed in Seattle, San Diego, Chicago.
Yeah, one of the reasons that bigger turnover is some guys are just retiring, like Torrey and Bobby Cox.
Although I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Torre's back somewhere else.
Really?
I'm telling you.
I don't know.
Chicago, Mets.
I got a feeling we may see him up in the booth.
That's true too.
Because, you know, he broadcast for a lot of years and he's good. Joe is so insightful and personable, and as all those guys find out when they come up here, it's a lot easier. They sleep a lot better at night.
2-2 the count to Mike Morse. Off the end of the bat, it is a foul ball.
Got to chase those when they're coming down there until they get past that bag. The way that baby was spinning, you never know.
Kind of got crowded down there, the first base line, between the bag, Ryan, Bob Davidson, and Dan Radisson, the first base coach. They were all in the general area.
Yeah, you got to make sure that thing goes by. They're all taking a look.
That one
just missed. Joe has to be lassoed back to the mound. He thought it was strike 3.
That's inside.
Not a bad spot, though.
Good spot.
2-2.
Good pitch. He'll take that a lot of times.
Ryan Howard will give that a look, but it's back in the seats. Good catch by that young fan right there. Dropped his cell phone, but he got a baseball. He has a glove. His girlfriend next to him has a glove.
Never know. And here comes one right at you.
On the outside corner, called strike 3. 3 strikeouts for Blanton through the first 2 innings. Morse thought it was low and away. Ryan Schneider skedaddled right away once that ball came across the plate. Pretty good pitching by Joe. 1-2-3, go the Nationals. Part of Entourage. Check out Jeremy Piven in the acclaimed HBO comedy Entourage. Weeknights at 11:30 right here on MyPHL 17. Bottom of the second on a beautiful day for baseball. Phillies and the Nationals in the final game of this 3-game series. That young man wants his dad to do flex cam. There you go. He's getting himself all set. Flex cam's going up on the video board here at the ballpark. Raul Ibanez leads it off for the Phillies. Raul's had a good series. He's 5 for 8. 5 for 8 with 4 runs scored, 3 RBIs, and an opposite field home run last night. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
This guy's a quick worker, and he has a great scouting report about the kitchen sink. You just watch his different pitches that he throws, and he does change his velocity on them.
I think he has to. I mean, you know, a lot of times when players, international players, come over and there's a lot of hype surrounding them. And Maya was sought after by the Mets, by the Red Sox, and the Nationals finally signed him. You know, until you see him in person, you're not totally sure what he throws.
And he doesn't throw real hard. But, you know, there he goes again. You know, he's hitting some spots. He's going to pitch backwards a little bit. That fastball, he said, is 86. You know, his fastball's been 88 to 88, 89, and that one he probably just took a little off it. And that's the point about trying to make it up as they go along. And that's what a lot of international type of pitchers do. That's just the way they learn to pitch.
Second walk issued by Maya. Hey, Phillies ball girl tryouts. Phillies are accepting DVDs and resumes for the 2011 season. You must be 18 years old or older. Send your 2-minute DVD highlighting your softball experience and why you should be considered to the Phillies. Citizens Bank Park, 1 Citizens Bank Way, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19148. Attention ball girl applicants.
It's a good job by Raul Ibanez. Second guy he's thrown a 3-2 breaking ball to. First one was Shane Victorino, hit it hard for the first out of the game. That one off the plate, and Raul took it. And you mentioned, Tom, he's been hot in this series. He's seen the ball well.
Brian Schneider making his first start since the 11th of September. Drafted originally by the Montreal Expos, who became the Washington Nationals. There's been a lot of time in between starts, but Brian's hit in 4 consecutive games.
He's finding the role of the backup catcher just fine to a guy who's become a very good #1 catcher in Carlos Ruiz.
Brian and his wife, there's Carlos, getting today off. Welcomed the arrival of the newest Schneider. Holden McKinney was born on Thursday, 7 pounds 4 ounces. So congratulations to Brian and his wife, the entire Schneider family, Lehigh Valley's own.
This guy nibbles. Now he's taking a long look in. Oh, Sheeta didn't like that. Look at him stepping out from behind the plate. Look at the body language. He didn't like that.
Yeah, he's still not back where he's supposed to be.
There's a point where you got to know what. Watch. Now that pitch is way outside. And look at Maya. Now Sheeta gives a count. And then the stare down started. And to Yuneski Maya, that guy right there that we just showed, he's going to win out. So that doesn't do you any good, especially when he doesn't know you.
3-1 the count to Brian Schneider.
You're out there trying. Oh, that's a balk. They're going to get him.
Third balk. Wow. In 3 starts for Maya.
Now see, that's just. We'll show you. You're going to now see. He's going to come out. He knows exactly what happened right there. Now you're not allowed to argue balks, but it was like, come on. I know he was just staring in at your guy behind the plate, but you don't have to show him like that.
Now, if you're not allowed to argue balks, I wonder what Jim Riggleman's going to say. And he just pointed back toward Maya. Maya must have said something as Riggleman walked out, because Riggleman said something to him.
Well, you have to be careful on how you word it.
Right.
Like, what just happened over here, Bob?
Can you just give me an explanation so I can tell my pitcher?
Yeah, why is the guy at second?
Tim Cheetah's now walking out to the mound with Ivan Rodriguez.
Yeah, they're going to try and calm everything down right now. And Cheetah goes out there, and he can communicate with the pitcher through Ivan Rodriguez.
Looked like he just said something right to Maya. Now Rodriguez will interpret it or translate it. Boy, I couldn't see it. He looked like he stopped.
He stopped. He more than stopped. The only thing he could possibly say is there's no daylight on the foot turn.
Right, that's what I was
going
thinking.
To first,
yep.
And there was.
Bob Davidson called the balk, and it's to the benefit of Phillies. So Ibanez is in scoring position with nobody out. And it's 3-1 to Brian Schneider. Little cue shot up the third baseline. Ibanez gets to third. Schneider gets to first. And the Phillies have runners on first and third with nobody out.
This is the kind of stuff that evidently happened to him in that inning against the Braves, where all kinds of weird things went on.
He's limping now.
Yep, he's hurt. How about that? Now Riggleman's going to come out. He'll get an injury. Bring the trainer with him, and they'll waive off a trip to the mound because Yuneski Maya came off the mound and was limping.
He went after that ball, went past him and picked up by Zimmerman. And here comes Ivan Rodriguez. They need him to translate for the trainer.
And it looked like he must have turned his ankle. Here he comes off the mound. And, oh, gee, left ankle went under. Boy, I'd be surprised if he can continue.
He's going to throw some pitches.
Watch it turn under right there. Oh,
as he was trying to stop himself.
Yep. Well, they don't have to get anybody up in the bullpen, because if he can't go, he'll get as long as necessary to warm up. He hobbled a little bit after that one, but he's going to be able to stay. But he did anything like this against the Braves last time, where he committed 2 balks and moved a runner to third, and then the guy scored.
Well, he's saying he's okay. There's Stammen, who's stretching his arm out in the bullpen.
Yeah, a guy gets a chance to pitch in the major leagues, and he don't want to come out.
So Ibanez is over at third, and Schneider's at first with nobody out. And Wilson Valdez stands in. They play the infield at double play depth with nobody out. And Valdez takes one inside. It's 1-0. Wilson has hit in 6 straight ball games. Look at his numbers with runners in scoring position. And look what he's done since the 1st of August, or really since the end of July.
Yeah, and he does hit into double plays, but a double play gets you a run here.
He's hit into 19 double plays this year. And a fly ball, shallow center. That's not going to get the job done. Desmond, the shortstop, makes the catch. One away.
He jammed himself there on an 88.
Roy Oswalt got a big hit in the first game of this series. Let's see if Joe Blanton could do the same here. Although they're probably going to have him sacrifice or try to sacrifice Schneider up to second.
Right. Because now
Rizzo's talking to him right now.
Because now if you hit into a double play, the inning's over. So they may do exactly what you're saying. Joe's a pretty good bunter too. Take a chance. The only problem with this is it's certainly not even close to automatic, because you have a slow runner at first who could be hard to bunt over. So this could all be a smokescreen to make them think, all right, we're going to bunt him over and maybe get some people moving a little prematurely out there.
Joe this year 7 for 54. He has struck out 22 times. He squares, and he takes a breaking ball for strike.
That's an easy pitch to bunt if you recognize it, but if you don't and you freeze like that, all is a called strike. The reason I say it's an easy pitch to bunt is because it's going down.
And he got a similar pitch, but it looked like the bat was trying to follow the ball and it never got set, and he popped it foul behind the plate.
Yeah, and the first thing about bunting is bunt a strike, and that probably wasn't.
So into the count to Joe. And he bunts it foul. And he's out on strikes. 2 outs here in the second. First strikeout for Maya. And it's up to Shane to drive in a run. Shane hit the ball hard his first time up. He lined out to right. Phillies are 9-5 this year against the Nationals. The last 3 games that they've won, they've outscored Washington 20-3. They've done a lot of things right, particularly during this month of September. And let's see if they can do some more right. 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. On the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Victorino, with his body language, thought that pitch was outside.
Fly ball to right field. Morris doesn't see it. Now he picks it up. And then he calls off Bernardina. And the Phils leave a couple after getting 2 aboard with nobody out. Maya pitches out of a jam. We go to the 3rd in a scoreless game. .com. Go to the fans section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. The question is, what Phillies player, Wheels, holds the team record for most ABs in a season?
I got a guess.
You have a guess?
Probably be wrong, but
make sure you save it for the 7th inning.
Yeah, well, this is about the fans, though. This is Stump the Fans, and we'll just try to play along with it.
Now we go to the top of the 3rd. The bottom 3rd is up for the Nationals. Willie Harris, Ivan Rodriguez, and Yuneski Maya.
At bats, not plate appearances.
At bats.
Okay. Just want to make sure there's no trick in there.
Well, there's probably a trick.
You just see the question come back and said at bats, but it was, well, we forgot to tell you we meant plate appearances. Not that anybody would, there would be any deceit around here.
No, not at all.
No chance of that.
We just want to be right with the way we're wording it.
Right.
The way the question is laid out.
Exactly.
Boy, there's a lot of cue shots today. How about that?
It's because of that off-speed stuff these guys throw. You don't cue fastballs normally.
Guess not.
All right.
There you go, Wheels. What Phillies player
All right.
holds the team record for most at-bats? Sometimes that goes by the symbol ABs.
Yes, ABs, as opposed to PAs.
Correct. 1-2 to Willie Harris. Harris is 0 for 2 in the series with a couple of walks.
You know the mentality around here, there's no harm in checking.
The ball's hit pretty well. Jason Worth is going back, and that one is gone. And the Nationals take a 1-0 lead. First hit of the day for Washington, and the 9th home run of the year for Willie Harris.
You can hit some home runs here today. You could see the way the ball carried to center field early on the ball that Shane had a little trouble with, and that thing went way out of here, and they will go today. Like a high changeup. It was, and that is deep to right center field.
Oh, with nobody out, here's Ivan Rodriguez, the number 8 hitter. Rodriguez fights the first pitch off, and it's 0-1.
Phillies have them right where they want them, losing 1-0.
The young lady made a nice play on that one. Here's Willie Harris with his 6th career home run against the Phillies.
What a catch. They're in where the suite level.
Yep.
Might be out here for the softball trial, for the ball girl trials, huh? That play.
Back toward the middle, another base hit. So Rodriguez is aboard. It's his second hit of the series. And then he'll bring Maya to the plate. Now Maya, they say, hits pretty well. He has a hit already this year. He's 1 for 2. But I guess that goes along the lines of, Livan Hernandez. Now Orlando Hernandez is not a very good hitter.
He also has a sacrifice,
which is what he's probably going to be up there to do here. So I guess the ankle's feeling okay, and he bunts it and bunts it foul. And it's 0-1. And he bunts it again, foul.
Technique's awful. Your point being that he's just showing the bench, I didn't do that right. And his bat is back in foul territory.
And he bunts at it and misses. So another strikeout for Joe. 4th strikeout of the day.
Because some of the other guys, a little more polish at those kind of things. But he did get a sack down in one of his other 2 starts, but that time had no chance.
Livan is as polished a hitter for a pitcher that you'll see. In fact, hit a home run in his last start against the Braves.
Livan Hernandez, great athlete. He doesn't have that athletic body. Reminds me of a guy named Rick Russell.
Oh yeah.
Pitched for the Cubs, had kind of a funny type of body, but boy, he was a good athlete. He could hit.
Espinosa struck out his first time up.
Had a great move to first. Could field his position.
Rodriguez leads off first. There was a time in his career that he would be a base stealing threat. Not so much now.
Talk about really good athletes. Hall of Famer right there. Buds Rodriguez someday.
Rodriguez has 2 stolen bases this year. And for his career, he has 127 steals. He's been caught 64 times. And a swing and a miss, and Espinosa's down on strikes for the 2nd time. That's 5 strikeouts for Big Joe. 2 outs.
Like a sinking fastball. And just late.
Joe in his last outing against the Marlins, when he went 6 innings, allowed 5 hits and 1 run, struck out 8. Struck out 9 back on the 23rd of August against the Astros. That's hit hard to the right side, but right at Chase Utley. And the side is retired. 1 run on the home run by Willie Harris. 2 hits, 1 man left for the Nationals. We played 2.5 here at Philadelphia. It's the Nationals 1, the Phillies nothing. The short side of a good time. Here we go. And by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Well, bottom of the third, Phillies trail at 1-0. It'll be Placido Polanco, Chase Utley, and Ryan Howard. Phillies earlier today took batting practice inside. The Nationals were out of the field taking BP. But at one point today, there was a pretty good sign, at least in steps forward. Jimmy Rollins was out running the warning track in the outfield with Scott Sheridan, the Phillies athletic trainer. And it seems like every day we come out, Jimmy's doing something different, which is a great sign that maybe he's closer to getting back at shortstop for Charlie Emanuel's team. Now, whether he bats leadoff or bats sixth or bats seventh, who knows? But it'll be nice to get him back and get his energy back into the lineup. But with all that said, Wilson Valdez has filled in very nicely over at shortstop.
Yeah, he didn't get the job done here today. First and third, nobody out when they had a great chance to score. But Wilson Valdez has been a guy that has gotten the job done many, many times this year and has been a really valuable player on this team.
Placido Polanco has the count even, 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, think about it. Think about it, Wheels. You know, Polanco's been out on the DL. Chase Utley's been on the DL. Jimmy Rollins has been on the DL. And the middle infielders the Phillies have used, whether it be Valdez or Juan Castro. We were looking at highlights today of this play that Castro made earlier this year with Chase Utley at short. That was unbelievable. You know, Cody Ransom. I mean, the list goes on and on of all the guys that have filled in at the infield positions that have, you know, helped the Phils to where they are right now.
And you have to give a lot of credit to the, you know, to the support people, the scouts who are out there looking to Mike Ondos and people like that in the department, along with Ruben Amaro, you know, that they sign these guys.
Little looper toward right. And 1 away.
Because in the offseason, all anybody wants to talk about is the big name players you bring in that everybody knows. And a lot of times it's the little signings that you make that can help you in the course of a long season.
Hey, time is running out to own one of a kind Fanatic Around Town statues. There are 11 statues that have already been auctioned, but there's still 5 that are available. The online auction continues through the 30th of September. A lot of money's raised already for Phillies Charities Incorporated. See the Fanatic Around Town in the fan section at Phillies.com for information and to bid. There are some of the statues. The one to the right, the orangey yellow looking one, is an astronaut. The Fanatic is an astronaut. Some of them were very creative. In fact, all of them were very creative.
Yeah, great job with that.
All local artists that put them together.
Ruben Amaro has really surrounded himself with some good people that we've gotten to know now. Benny Looper and Scott Profrock. Guys like that, really good baseball men who have helped the organization quite a bit.
1-1 the count to Chase Utley.
Not a good ball strike ratio, but I don't think this guy cares about that, especially if he's learned from Levon.
Maya, when he pitched in Cuba, won the equivalent of the Cy Young Award while pitching in Cuba. As we mentioned before, he pitched in the World Baseball Classic for the Cuban national team. So he had a chance to face some of the professional players that are in the major leagues. There's the brain trust that Wills was talking about. Benny Looper up top by Gondo in the black shirt.
That's Benny. That's Mike.
Dallas Green.
We know him.
Yep. Scott Profrock working on the computer.
Right there.
3-2 the count to Chase.
Well, he doesn't throw a ball near the middle of the plate. And you know, he doesn't have anything overpowering, and you can just see why he was successful on the international level. And then we'll see where they can translate it here.
Little number back toward the mound, and Chase is retired for the second out.
Another off-speed pitch on a 3-2 count.
So 2 away here in the third. It's a nice time to remind you that today's Thirst Inning is brought to you by Budweiser. It's the official beer of the Thirst Inning. Whether it be Bud Light, regular Budweiser, a little Bud Light Lime, all available here at the ballpark. 2 outs for Ryan Howard. Ryan was essentially walked his first time up. 30 home runs, 102 RBIs, and a very productive month of September. And he lays off a changeup. They appeal. Ooh, he went around, says Angel Hernandez.
He did. The bat's out in front of the plate like that, they're going to nail you every time. It's so hard to call those things anyway. To me, that's one of the toughest things for umpires to call. You know, there's a 10 involved. They got to think of a lot of things.
See Ryan's production here at home. Among the leaders with, well, it's no surprise, with Carlos Gonzalez and Troy Tulowitzki. Their numbers and a lot of numbers for the Rockies are unbelievable at Coors Field this year. 3 balls and 1 strike to count to Ryan.
Boy, a lot of off-speed pitches. Then he threw Chase Utley an unbelievable 3-1 fastball. Now he's getting some heat from the dugout.
Steve McCaddy, the pitching coach, is who Tim Cheetah is pointing to.
He's had enough of the pitcher and the pitching coach.
There's Dan Radisson, the first base coach.
He's not going to give in with a fastball behind in the count. You know, and the hitters have to start to recognize that, and I'm sure they will as the game goes along. And if he does give in with one, you wouldn't think it would be it. Well, it's not going to be in the middle of the plate unless it's a mistake.
4th full count for Maya this afternoon. The 6th 3-ball count overall. And a grounder to the right side. Second baseman Espinosa throws out Howard, and the Phillies go down in order here in the 3rd. So the Phillies retired 1, 2, 3. We've completed 3. We go to the 4th. It's a 1-0 game. Mountain K-Cup coffee, brewed fresh every cup and delivered by W.B. Mason. For a great cup of coffee, who but W.B. Mason? Gary Matthews joins us here in the booth as we go to the top of the 4th. Nationals lead at 1-0. Brian Zimmerman, Adam Dunn, Roger Bernardina. 3, 4, and 5 for Washington. Washington got their run on a home run by Willie Harris in the 3rd. Phillies had a chance to score in their half of the 2nd, but couldn't capitalize on 1st and 3rd with nobody out.
Yeah, those are the situations we talk about that it's almost like a free RBI, if you will. Hit that ball on the ground. Could have actually had it. I thought maybe he might have let Blanton go on and hit away for me.
Yeah, with all those curveballs he was throwing, he maybe thought he could get a pop-up or something, or a fly ball to the outfield. So it's 1-0 here in the top of the 4th. It's a beautiful afternoon for baseball, Sarge. It's the final Sunday of summer which means only one thing. The stretch run is here in baseball, and there's nothing like being in a race.
In all the leagues, especially that wild card. But I tell you, the fighting field's still not there yet. I mean, these are always big games, especially teams that you should win, and this is one of the ones. But they have a tendency to play you pretty tough.
All right, you always say win the series. But there comes a time where you probably would say sweep the series.
Well, you'd like to really put these guys away. Winning the series against the really good teams, Atlanta when they come in, if you can win the series, you've done your job.
Adam Dunn has the count even, 1 ball and 1 strike. Is that greedy to think that, to sweep a series, or is that the mindset you have to have?
Yeah, you want to be greedy against teams like, Washington when you're playing those teams that aren't at 500. Realizing the other teams are really good teams. The bat goes out of Dunn's hand.
Well, it's 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Adam Dunn. And the Phillies have this game against Washington, 3 more against Washington. They have the Mets next weekend, and then the other 6 are against the Braves. So, we talk about winning series. If they have that objective the rest of the year, they'll be in good shape.
Against the Mets, you want to try and win 2 out of 3. They have a lot of problems right now.
That's hit hard off the glove of Chase. Boy, he got up there. And it's a base hit for Dunn, his first in the series. Now, this is something we talked about before the ball game, Sarge. They've won 15 of their last 17 series. They've won 10 of their last 11 home series, including this one. And 8 straight series against the National League East.
That's big because that's the teams that you want to be able to beat. And those are the teams that at the end of the year, when you've done really well in your division, you probably end up winning that division.
Bernardina grounded out to second his first time up. And it's no balls and 2 strikes to him. This is Joe Blatton's 10th start here at Citizens Bank Park here in 2010. He's 4-0 and 9 starts with a 3.77 earned run average. Now that ERA does not include today, but the Phillies are 8-1 in his 9 home starts. That means they're scoring some runs for him. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Braves have tied up the Mets 2-2. Alex Gonzalez, who's been a good pickup for Atlanta, picked up another RBI.
Wow.
That's R.A. Dickey for the Mets and Derek Lowe for the Braves. Down and away, 3-2.
This is where Joe needs to keep that concentration. He gets a little upset sometimes when he doesn't get those pitches called that he thinks that are strikes. Looking for a ground ball.
Runner goes. Swing and a miss. The throw to second by Schneider. In time. It's a strikeout. Throw out. Double play. 6 strikeouts for Blanton. And a great release by Brian Schneider with outstanding anticipation. Look how quick he's out of the chute. And the tag put on by Wilson Valdez. Mason. Who but WB Mason for amazingly low office product prices. Buy AT&T. Rethink possible. And buy Suzuki in the new Kazashi midsize sports sedan. Suzuki, the power of engineering. Bottom of the fourth. Great statue of Whitey out in Ashburn Alley. And another sold-out crowd here at Citizens Bank Park. I love as we get a chance to watch games from behind home plate, Sarge, and you see the folks moving around Ashburn Alley or, the Bud Light rooftop. It almost looks like you're, down on the boardwalk at Ocean City or Wildwood or, down the Jersey Shore. It's kind of neat just to see folks going back and forth.
Well, it really is. In this ballpark, you can walk all over the ballpark. Good view from just about anywhere you are.
Jason Worth leads it off, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. It's almost as if they're walking out in Ashburn Alley as if they're walking the boards with all the stands, the food stands. There's just a lot of activity, and the next 3 days after this one, this place is going to be buzzing. Jason fights one off, and he's got a base hit to center. So the leadoff batter aboard for the Phils here in the fourth.
Now, even though he got jammed on that ball, that's really good hitting. This is one of those pitches where you want to force yourself to stay up the middle on him. He does pitch backwards, meaning throwing a lot of breaking balls. This is a fastball that's going to tail back in. Now, Jason stays right through the ball as opposed to pulling off of the ball. Didn't hit it hard, but the effect was good. Right out into center field.
So now Ibanez, who walked his first time up, and he takes one outside. It's 1-0.
Yeah, he's kind of tailing the ball away from Ibanez, trying to get him to pull off for ground balls. Very important for him to stay on it and try and drive that ball to left center if he can, or even left field.
Sarge, during your playing days, take me back to your thoughts when you were facing an international pitcher, a guy that, like a Maya who's from Cuba.
Well, he's throwing soft for me. And again, you have a tendency that you want to try and hit the ball out of the ballpark because he does throw so slow. He's been throwing a lot of breaking balls like that up in the zone, and that's the one, that you would go on and sit on and really go on and hit. We talk about staying hard on fastballs, but there are exceptions to the rule. Guys that would throw a lot more breaking balls, and especially for strikes, you'll stay that way.
To the right side, that'll sneak into right field, a base hit. Worth is on his way to third. He got a great jump, and he'll get there easily. Morse made a nice strong throw, but it was way late. And the Phillies have first and third with nobody out for the second time today.
You got to give credit. Again, the ball pulled right in the hole. Anytime that is, your runners that are average speed can make it to third base. Don't need the coach in that particular instance. And Jason Worth doing a good job. That ball's hit behind him. He automatically knows he's got to be able to go to third base. He's already checked everything out. That's a throw there, though, for Morse. You just want to go in and get that ball down, keep that double play in order, which he did, but took a chance on getting it and throwing it to third.
Well, here's Schneider as they set up for two, and Brian, who reached on an infield hit his first time up, takes one outside. It's 1-0. Brian overall hitting .230 with 4 home runs and 13 RBIs. That includes the one hit earlier today. In the air to center field. That'll get the run home. Might get a little bit more. Bernardino going back, and he's not going to get there. A one hop off the center field wall. Worth scores. Here comes Raul. A 2-run double for the new Papa. Brian Schneider has given the Phils a 2-1 lead. Hey, how about Ibanez? He was off and running right away.
Good call on that. Great base running. Didn't have to actually read or stop to see where the fielder was. This ball is hit. No problem at all for Jason Worth. And right now, when that ball is hitting, that's where Ibanez is chugging right around the bases. Snyder for a double.
Safe and secure at second. Safe and secure with New York Life. And now Valdez. Inside 1-0. Raul, while he has gotten hot offensively during this month and for part of August, he does run the bases well. He may not be the fastest guy, but he reads things very well.
Well, that's what you're supposed to be, just to be a good base runner. Got to be able to read that ball. And really, it's very simple, because you look at the fielders when you're on base, see exactly where they are. And when that ball is hit in a particular vicinity, you're able to take right on off and not have to stop. Good base runner. No throw at home. Just out of breath a little bit.
One ball, 2 strikes the count to Wilson, who popped up his first time up. Phillies have a chance to tack on here with Schneider at second and nobody out. Little flare over toward Adam Dunn. So Valdez is 0 for 2, and here comes Joe Blanton.
Joe Blanton will get a chance to swing the bat, I'm sure, at this at bat.
And he takes a breaking ball for a strike. He's gotten a strict diet of curves.
Oh, he knows too. Pitchers are always looking first pitch fastball to hit. Here's where he's pitching backwards, throwing breaking balls, but able to get the breaking ball over the plate for a strike.
Little flare to left center field. Bernardino started back. He dives, makes the grab. What a recovery by Roger Bernardino. 2 outs.
Now that's that big swing that got him to take a step back. And that's that speed that overcomes a mistake. When you go back, as he goes all out and diving and catching that ball before it hits the turf. Let's see where he is now. Then he goes back. Now he comes in, makes a fine play, and he caught it before it hit the turf. Can't make that play if you don't have speed
or athleticism. Well, 2 gone. Yep, runner in scoring position now for Victorino. Phillies have scored 2 in the inning on the double by Brian Schneider. He fought it off. A pop up toward left. Desmond is back, and the side is retired. But the Phillies get a couple. They take the lead on a 2-run double by Brian Schneider to the deepest part of the ballpark. Brings home Ibanez and Worth, and the Phillies lead it 2-1. Weeknights at midnight, right after Entourage on My PHL 17. Broken bat, base hit the opposite way from Mike Morse. Top of that bat splintered to the left of the mound. A leadoff single here in the 5th. Well, Joe made a good pitch.
Exploded the bat. That's even better than getting jammed. The ball right at the fielder. You have it out.
Just saw that graphic. The shutdown innings. Phillies just scored. And Joe is below the percentage, the average, I should say, in the National League for shutting down the opposition after his team scores. And this is a shutdown inning. An opportunity for Glenn. 2-1 Phillies.
Well, anytime that opposition scores, you want to be able to shut them down. Keep the momentum on your side. As Willie Harris only coming into the game hitting $183. Well, you see $187 now with those 9 home runs. But every time we seem to see this guy play, he gets the ball, hits the ball hard, and gets hits.
Some of the times.
Well, obviously, I mean, he's not having a good year, not hitting 200 below the Mendoza line.
But he's had some, you're right, he's had some big hits against Brad Lidge late in games. I mentioned before, the home run he hit earlier is 6th against the Phillies, and not many at bats. On the outside corner, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good sink on that fastball. It's another one of the pitchers, just like Kyle Kendrick's got to be, needs to have ground balls to be effective.
Swing and a miss, and today he's used the strikeout to be effective. That's his 7th of the game.
I tell you, he's got pretty good movement on his pitches. That ball moves away.
And that'll bring Ivan Rodriguez to the plate. Blanton's last loss came on the 21st of July against the Cardinals. Since that time, Sarge, he has 6 no decisions. Now, the Phillies have lost a couple of the games since that time, but for the most part, they've won Joe's outings.
No, giving them a chance to win the ball game. That's what it's all about for any of the starters.
Rodriguez has grounded into 24 double plays, 2 less than the struggling Pablo Sandoval. And it's 2-0.
Now he has an inside-out swing, so he's going to hit a lot more of those ground balls. He has a tendency to wait pretty good. Looking at a first ballot Hall of Famer for me once he gets through playing.
I wonder what they're going to do with him too, Sarge. He has another year left on his contract with the Nationals, and they think that Ramos is their catcher of the future. Jesus Flores, who they thought a couple years ago was their catcher of the future, is still nursing shoulder problems. So I would think Jim Riggleman's team is going to, bring Rodriguez back again for the final year of his contract and have him sort of work with Ramos to tutor him. And he fights one off into right field, a base hit.
Now there's that inside out swing that I'm talking about. But you're right, though. He's still a valuable player. And, just with his mind alone would be great to be around younger players. Before in his career, there were balls he'd try and hit out of the ballpark. Now he's just really trying to stay through the ball, get hits.
Well, he's picked up 2 hits today, and now a meeting on the mound about Maya, the pitcher who's due up. We talk about all the sellouts here at this ballpark. Well, Citizens Bank Park is also available for your next corporate or social event. You can call 215-218-5100 to find out about the opportunities to use the ballpark, whether it be the Diamond Club, the Hall of Fame Club, Harry the K's, or you can go to Phillies.com/special events for more details. Maya bunts at it and misses. And those scouting reports that say that he handles the bat well, I'm not sure how good they are right now.
Well, depending on the scout that you're talking about, that making those reports. But looking at his technique right there, he's kind of punching at the ball. Remember, got to keep the barrel on top of the ball to get that ground ball. If it goes below the ball, usually you're going to get that pop-up.
And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Morrison's on second. Rodriguez is over at first. Phillies lead it 2-1. And he bunts it toward the right side. Howard has it, thinking about third. He's got him at third.
Gotta tell you, what a great play. Every time the ball goes that way, you almost kind of hold your breath a little bit until you actually see the throw. Normally, Ryan Howard, when he doesn't have to think about it, usually comes out with a pretty good throw. Now, his momentum is going to take him toward the bag, and it makes it an easy throw. Even though a little bit high, you'll take that all day long. Ball bunted fairly hard, comes in, and makes a good play, and that's the play that you want to be able to make as he throws it to Polanco. Good play.
Ryan's made 13 errors this year. 7 of those errors have been on throws, but he's made a couple pretty good throws on this homestand. So now 2 outs with runners on first and second. It's no balls and 1 strike to Danny Espinosa, a switch hitter who has struck out twice today.
So even if he had thrown that away, Maya, the pitcher, he just kept on running through the bag as if there was some more yards to go. He would have had no chance to even get to second base.
Kind of thought he was running it down and out there, huh?
Didn't know what he was actually doing.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Cardinals have taken a 2-0 lead over the Padres. That one's in the bottom of the third. Matt Holliday has collected an RBI single. Adam Wainwright is pitching in that ball game for the Cards. 1-2 the count to Espinosa. And a changeup down to even the count at 2-2. Maya not being held on at first. Rodriguez not being covered at second. And it's outside, 3-2. Joe thought that got a little of the plate.
Well, that's kind of what he wants. He wants that ball just kind of running off that outside part of the plate. You can tell by his mannerisms that he felt that that was a strike.
Runners will be off on this pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him again. Third time today. Blanton's gotten Danny Espinosa on strikes. It's his 8th strikeout of the afternoon. He leaves a couple more. Blanton's getting the right pitch at the right time, and the Phillies lead it by 1. novelties, DVDs, the Fanatic Attic, and more. Open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. until 6. And at all home games. In fact, it's open right now. Make the Majestic Clubhouse store your year-round home for official Phillies merchandise. All kinds of Phillies merchandise these days. And we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Phillies lead it 2-1. Forever Phillies fan. Forever hasn't been a long time for that youngster. That young guy's wearing a Roy Oswalt jersey already. How about that? Number 44 Roy Oswalt jersey. There it is right there.
Well, it doesn't take long.
Not at all.
And he picked out a pretty good guy to have on his back at Oswalt. Yeah, I tell you, Oswalt just got here. Marketing, boy, they get those out right away, don't they?
Right out. Well, think about Dominic Brown when he arrived. That first homestand, he was here. There were number 9 jerseys everywhere. He may not even be number 9 in the future, but for now, he's wearing number 9. In fact, we saw those shots of Ryan Howard when he hit his first major league home run. You know, Ryan wears number 6, as everybody knows, but did you know that in that first shot when he hit his first major league home run, he was wearing number 12?
No, I did not notice that.
Polanco's hit by a pitch.
Well, I tell you now, that really smarts after you've been struggling, haven't been hitting the ball in the last week or two. No, he's trying to stay in there. He starts him off with a breaking ball and then runs a fastball and just nails him. Kind of gave a little stare out to the mound. But watch it, nowhere to go.
Hopefully, I hit the belt. That belt will be a little protection for that ball coming in.
Yeah, he probably wish he had a little pad there as opposed to the belt.
There's Chase. Chase reached on an infield single, went to second on the play on an error by Ryan Zimmerman. And grounded out. It's 1 ball and no strikes to him. Phillies trying to add on here at Citizens Bank Park up in New York. That game is tied at 2 in the 7th with the Braves threatening. And Chase fights it off. And Mike Morse makes the catch. Well, prior to the ball game today, the Phillies honored their Paul Owens Award winners. Scott Matheson was the Paul Owens Award winner as the Pitcher of the Year in minor league baseball, and Dominic Brown was the Player of the Year. Benny Looper congratulating Dominic. Marty Wolliver is there as well, the Phil's scouting director. Pretty good honor to be given the award named after the Pope. And you see the numbers for Dominic, AA and AAA, 20 home runs, 68 RBIs, and for Matheson, 26 saves this year down at Lehigh Valley.
Good year. Congratulations. Tell you, that Morris out in right field, I mean, he's caught some balls, but he's struggling. He might need an eye test. Keeps coming in on balls, back on balls, not reading them very well.
Inside, it's 2-0.
Dominic Brown will be going off playing winter ball this year.
Think he will, Sarge?
Santo Domingo for the team Escogido, same team that I played for. I reminded him to make sure that he gets himself not only an interpreter, but also a driver for the course of winter ball.
It's good for him to go to winter ball, don't you think?
Absolutely. And we toughen him up. And not only that, though, he's missed a lot of valuable time in terms of at-bats. This way, he'll get a chance to see major league pitching, guys that throw awful hard. So to give him a chance to kind of judge exactly where he is with a lot of young other talent.
Was there one part of winter ball that helped you?
Oh, I just really like the whole atmosphere in being down there. You know, again, Juan Marichal lived there the whole time. I was friends with him with the San Francisco Giant, knew Rico Cardi and all the guys. And I thought it was special playing there in the capital and Santo Domingo. So, I mean, it's I always thought it was an honor, too, to be invited down to play. And a lot of times the guys of today thinks it's more punishment that you have to go to winter ball. But, you know, you do learn things. And I had great roommates, Cecil Cooper. At one time, we had a great time putting a lot of hurt on some Dominicans down there. And it's still competition facing Andujar, Joaquin Andujar, those guys. J.R. Richard was down there. Not a pleasant task in facing him with those lights. But the shoe's on the other foot. Now everybody speaks Spanish. You're speaking English, so it's a little more difficult to get around. And you kind of understand when players come from Japan and other countries that, you know, that the barrier in talking can be difficult at times.
3-2 the count to Ryan Howard. There goes Polanco, and a breaking ball called strike 3. The throw is high at second. Polanco is safe. Ryan thought that pitch was too high. The Phillies have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs.
I think Ryan's still looking for that fastball from him on those even counts. See where the pitch is. Breaking ball.
Wow.
Ryan's looking at that as high, and that's pretty high pitch to call on him. The ball didn't have that much tilt on it. I don't blame him for not swinging at that pitch. Not a good strike.
Oh, with 2 outs, here's Jason Worth. Jason 1 for 2. Singleton scored his last time up. And he lines one to left field. That's it for a base hit. Polanco's around third, heading for home. The throw by Willie Harris, cut off by Zimmerman. An RBI for Jason. And the Phillies have built the lead to 2. It's 3-1 Philadelphia.
Oh, boy, he's starting to feel it a little bit more. Jason Worth, as he gets those hands through on a fastball that was inside. He's been starting him off with breaking balls. Now look at this pitch. Fastball inside, bam, as he turns on it. Hit against the front foot again. And when he does it, he's at his best. Harris coming in, not known for a good arm. Kind of a parachute as he threw in there. Polanco sliding in, new pitcher.
2 hits today for Jason, 74 RBIs. Polanco crosses the plate. And that's going to be it for Yuniesky Maya. Doug Slayton is the new pitcher for the Washington Nationals with 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, the Phillies lead it by a score of 3-1. And this is our AT&T call to the bullpen. Lefties upon lefties in that pen for the Nationals. And the first one is Doug Slayton. Game for the Nationals. 4-1, a 3.13 earned run average. And he's on to face Raul Ibanez. So Yuniesky Maya last 4 2/3. And he walks 2, strikes out 2, hits a batter, and allowed 6 hits. And while we were away on the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Derek Lee hit a grand slam in the top of the 7th, and the Braves have opened up a 6-2 lead over the Mets.
Wow.
11th career grand slam for Lee. Let's hope he's not getting hot.
Oh, no. No, you don't want that. He's been pretty quiet just about all year long, except for a couple of instances during the course of the season.
Well, the Phillies have a lead here. The Braves have a lead up in New York. And here's Raul Ibanez. And a throw over by Slayton. That grand slam by Derek Lee is the 12th that Mets pitching's given up this year.
Oh, boy.
You know how many they've hit? None.
Oh. Well, Derek Lee has had some back problems over the course of the year. Maybe that back might stiffen up with that bus ride.
That's right.
For Philadelphia.
Maybe the air conditioning will be too cool on the bus. 1-0 the count to Ibanez. And that's over for strike 1. Raul is 1 for 1 today, but he's also walked. He has scored a run. That means he's scored 5 runs in this series. Line drive to right field. That'll be in for a base hit. Worth stops at second as the throw goes behind Jason. Second hit of the day for Raul.
Yeah, too hard to actually try and even think about going to third base. Line drive, 1 hop at Morris. Boy, he's got the good part of the bat on the ball on that particular pitch here. Take a look at it. Gets on top of a high fastball.
And here's Brian Schneider, who has the biggest hit of the day, a 2-run double to center field for the Phils. And it's no balls and 1 strike. Brian's 2 for 2.
Do you like when you give Carlos Ruiz just a little bit of a rest for a big series here, and backup comes in and does just as well.
Saw those numbers, Brian's numbers against lefties. He's 1 for 14. He usually plays only against right-handers, and it's sparingly that he's out there against a lefty. Usually Charlie Manuel will pinch hit for him with Carlos Ruiz. Worth goes. Ibanez follows. The throw to third by Rodriguez. Not in time. A double steal. And Jason went in pretty hard, and Zimmerman went spinning to the ground.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Ivan Rodriguez didn't like that. He doesn't like guys stealing on him at all. Has a lot of pride. That's part of his defense. Take a look at it. Jason gets really a good jump. He thought maybe he had him and throws that ball almost right there on the bag. I thought he was safe, however. Double steal there.
So second and third, 2 outs. 2-1 the count to Schneider. A base hit could score 2. And a slider for strike 2.
Boy, Ibanez just picking up an easy steal, just reading Jason Worth all the way as he scampered in there to second base.
Swing and a miss. And Schneider's rung up, and the Phillies leave a couple in scoring position. So they've left 7 this afternoon, but they scored another run on an RBI single by Jason Worth. We've completed 5. It's the Phils 3 and the Nats 1.
the week are the Bermuda Triangle of the National League. When Roy Oswalt, Cole Hamels, and Doc Halladay are on the mound, bats disappear. At the end of July, this duo of ours became a trio of terror for opposing hitters. Control, domination, determined, and astonishing is just the beginning of the ways to describe their performances. Like the Triangle, visitors have been approaching with caution. And that unknown is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. We're here for you every step of the way. Well, they certainly have been a three-headed monster since Roy Oswalt came over from the Astros. And that three-headed monster will be the starting pitchers in the three-game series coming up against the Atlanta Braves. Cole Hamels will start tomorrow for the Phillies against Jair Jurgens. Roy Halladay against Mike Minor on Tuesday. And then Tommy Hanson against Roy Oswalt to finish up that series on Wednesday. Ian Desmond starts the sixth with a leadoff single. Joe's had 2 1-2-3 innings. They were the first 2 innings.
Well, this is key here in the 6th inning. This is usually when he'll start to have a little problems here in the 6th or the 7th. So again, looking for the shutdown inning to keep the momentum on your side again.
Joe missed his spot on that pitch, but still wanted it for a strike.
I thought it was a strike, to be quite honest.
See the pitches by inning for Blanton. 84 with nobody out here in the 6th. Line drive to left field, caught by Ibanez. And when I left the bat, I didn't think it was going to hang up there for him.
That ball was smoked. I mean, you can hang all kind of wash on that ball there. The only reason it didn't get out of here because it didn't get up in the air. Now take a look at this as it's a breaking ball. Catches it off the end just a little bit. It's the Ibanez pretty quickly.
Runner goes. Pitch is taken for a ball. The throw to second, not in time. And a stolen base for Desmond, his 16th of the year.
You know, on that play there, again, if Valdez catches that ball and keeps it on him as he's sliding, possibly could get an out because he's coming off of the bat. Now, for a lot of the young kids out there, you make sure you keep that tag right on that base runner. Get yourself some easy outs that way.
A changeup. Here's what Sarge is talking about.
Here it is there. Now watch Valdez. He's going to catch that ball and just kind of not turn around. And watch this. See how he came off of there just a little bit and keep that tag right on him, and possibly you can get that out.
And what's to say you can't use a little of your own muscle to keep him from getting back to the bat?
Well, you don't want to make that obvious because they'll call it. But, I mean, I know what you're saying. You just kind of give that foot a little bit of a help.
Just a little bit.
As it's going off of there.
Two and two, the count. Adam Dunn.
Got to pitch him carefully. Can hit the ball out of any ballpark. Been making pretty good pitches on him, though, so far.
Trying to check his swing. They want an appeal. And an appeal to Angel Hernandez.
Angel said, I didn't see anything.
Tim Cheetah asked him. It wasn't as if it was an imposition for him.
Well, yeah, I mean, but he turned his palms up a little bit You know, as a hitter, you never want to look over there to the umpire that's going to make that call. Keep your head down. This Angel must have had his down, too.
And ball 4. He thought it was the same pitch that he got strike 1 on. But it's a walk to Adam Dunn, 72nd of his season.
Wow.
And now 2 on with 1 out here in the 6th. Rich Dubie's going to the phone. Figure Jose Contreras or J.C. Romero will get up. Maybe Danny Baez. Yep, there's Danny Baez. You know, it may not be Contreras. Contreras may be used for the 8th inning today, depending on whether Ryan Matson's available or not. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to Bernardina. He's 0 for 2. It's Bastardo and Baez.
Just starting to miss his spots a little bit. And usually when pitchers are doing that, that would tell you that they might be a little bit tired.
Good changeup. That was one of the best changeups of the day because he's thinking fastball, and he threw it right in the middle of the plate where a fastball would go, and it dropped.
Good call on that, and you can see the changeup grip. Bernardina out in front of that, way out in front of that. And you're right, anticipating fastball.
Now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Bernardina. And he stays alive. Well, there is a different feel to these games. I mean, the Phillies are leading at 3-1, but you can feel a little bit of a tension in your gut right now with 2 on and 1 out.
Well, you're right, and especially when you look up there and you see Atlanta's winning 6-3, knowing how important this game becomes.
Two and 2 the count to Roger Bernardina. Runners go. Pitch is popped up. Valdez makes the call. And he makes the catch, and Desmond is able to get back to second. Desmond, in the games the Phillies have played against the Nationals, has made some peculiar base running plays. That wasn't as peculiar, if only because there's a left-hander up and it's a clear path to third for Brian Schneider. But do you imagine if he was doubled up there?
Oh boy, but I mean it's a 2-2 count that he's actually running on. You know, I don't quite understand that. Left-handed batter up. Well, different managers manage different ways. Can't think that Jim Riggleman was given a sign for base runners to run at that particular time.
No, Dunn didn't take off. Here's Mike Morse.
Well, that tell you then he's going on his own.
And Morse takes a fastball inside. 1 ball and no strikes.
The manager will leave runners on their own, and when they don't want them to run, they have a sign that is a no-run sign.
Joe trying to get through the 6th. He's over 100 pitches this afternoon. He struck out 8. And this is a 20-pitch inning. He's going to need at least 21 pitches to get through it, if not more. And he's ahead 1-2 to Morse.
Well, you kind of feel, though, if he can get out of this inning, that it might be it for him.
I would think so. He's due to bat second in the bottom of the 6th.
Yep.
44,936 starting to make some noise here at Citizens Bank Park. The Phillies with a 2-run lead. The 1-2 pitch to Morse. And this is a little low, 2-2.
Now this is where, when you have that good hard slider, when both him and Kyle Kinder could use that pitch, be a lot easier to get these right-handed batters out. Now, Big Joe Blanton does throw a little bit of a curve or somewhat of a slider, but not that biting slider that looks like a fastball and moves away at the last minute. Big pitch coming up.
Runners take off. Swing and a foul tip. Morse stays alive.
How about that? Throwing a 3-2 changeup.
I think that's been his best 2-strike pitch today.
Wow. He's got to have a lot of confidence to throw that pitch. Here it is again. You can see that grip on it. And, well, again, 3-2. A lot of confidence to throw that in that situation.
Probably can't come back with it again here.
Well, I mean, if he thinks that's his best pitch, usually you will get that. But that slider would be such a great pitch if he had that one.
Runners go again. And a fly ball to right field. That's pretty well hit. Jason Worth's going back, and the Nationals take the lead. An opposite field 3-run home run for Mike Morse.
Wow.
His 11th of the year. It's 4-3 Washington. That's a shame.
Oh, boy. See where this pitch is now. That's a fastball right down the middle. He back-legged it, hitting against his front foot. Ball had no choice than to get out of the ballpark.
Willie Harris homered earlier in the game. He's 1 for 2. So the Phillies trail it now by 1. Not sure what Mike Morse is upset with. Off the foot of Harris, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Oh, boy. Big Joe Blanton has been pitching pretty good up to that point. Real good up to that point. Just that one bad pitch. Saw the location of that pitch. Major league hitters are going to hit that particular pitch pretty hard just about 90% of the time. I'm almost surprised that he threw a ball that good for the hitter to hit that ball. I mean, even if you walk him, you still want to go for that corner. Don't want to throw the ball down the middle and just give in to the hitter.
Straight back, and that'll go just in front of us and out of play. And it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, the good news is, though, they've been used to coming back. 30 pitches so far in this inning.
Ryan Howard knocks it down. And it rolls toward the bag, so it turns out to be an easy play. Joe Blanton gives up a 3-run home run to Mike Morse, and that gives the Nationals a 1-run lead. An opposite field shot by Mike Morse, his 11th of the year on a 3-2 fastball. It's 4-3 Washington as we go to the bottom of the 6th. McDonald's.com. Grab your bag. It's on. By McDonald's, introducing strawberry, banana, and wild berry real fruit smoothies. Try a small for just $2.29 only at McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by Toyota, it's the Now's the Time sales event at your Toyota dealer. Hurry, offer ends soon. Well, last of the sixth, the Phillies haven't trailed this late in a game against the Nationals in this series. But a 3-run home run by Mike Morse has made it a 1-run lead, and now Jim Riggleman turns the ballgame over to Joel Peralta. His 34th game. He's been good for them. A 2.11 earned run average. Just 27 hits in 42 2/3. And only 9 walks. So 36 base runners so far this year. The back of the Nationals bullpen has been pretty good of late. Phillies haven't seen the back of the bullpen in this series, with maybe the exception of Slayton, as Wilson Valdez leads it off. It'll be Valdez, and it looks like Greg Dobbs. He's in the on-deck circle to pinch hit. There's Greg. So Joe Blanton's afternoon looks like it's done. And then the top of the order. Two 2-0 the count to Valdez.
They got to make him throw a strike. I would really look for Valdez to maybe even take a pitch, take a strike. See if he can maybe get a little while and try and get something going.
Peralta has not allowed a run in 8 2/3, or his last 8 2/3. In fact, the Nationals bullpen in the last 14 games has an earned run average of 0.89. Valdez drills one to straightaway center, but Roger Bernardino got a good jump. And there's one away.
Well, then they're due maybe to give up a few.
Valdez is 0 for 3. And that'll bring Greg Dobbs to the plate. Dobbs hit a pinch home run against the Florida Marlins during the last road trip. Hitting 193 overall with 5 homers and 15 RBIs. He fell behind Wilson Valdez. Now he falls behind Greg Dobbs.
It actually looked like he had a split type of a grip. Ball was only 81 miles an hour, so fastball is much harder than that one.
There's Danny Baez loosening up in the pen. Out in front of a changeup, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Dobbs has 51 pinch hits in his Phillies career, his 4th most in franchise history. He needs 1 more to tie Tommy Hutton for 3rd place. He's not going to get it here. A fly ball to shallow right, and Espinosa in front of Morse makes the catch for the 2nd out. 2 away here in the 6th. And back to the top of the order for Shane Victorino. Shane is 0 for 3. He's hit it in 11 consecutive games. And that's on the line in the latter part of this ball game.
Kind of surprised too. We're not seeing maybe more bunts going down third baseman Zimmerman's way, just with the way that he's been throwing the ball so far.
That's a good point, Sarge. And, well,
I mean, he does pick the ball, and he's a pretty good fielder, but he's shown that very erratic in throwing the ball over to first base. This guy's at a fast, put a little pressure on him, let him start throwing the ball down the line. Oh, very inconsistent with those low strikes for me. You know, one of the things, too, the fighting fields can do, take the umpire out of the equation, meaning, you know, take it upon yourself to get more runs in and get those early runs when you can with the runner on third base.
Well, the Phillies have left 7, Sarge. 5 of those base runners are in scoring position today.
See, well, that's what I'm saying. Taking the umpire out of the equation where they actually have nothing to do with it. And we talked about staying close to clubs like the Washington Nationals and a few others. Bad things can happen to you. Well, the good thing is, though, they've been able to come back on a lot of ball games, so they should start to get used to that.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count to Victorino. Shane stays alive. Charlie's looking over his lineup card with Pete McCannon. Hook foul into the seats, and it remains 2-2 to Victorino. Victorino, since coming off the disabled list, has hit .319. That's more like it for him. He did not have the same kind of success prior to his trip to the DL. He's moved into 3rd place in stolen bases in the National League. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to him. Trying to check his swing. They appeal. He went around, says Angel Hernandez. And Victorino just slammed his helmet. That'll be an equipment fine. Hernandez just pointed to him, and now he's out of the ball game. Victorino was just thrown out of the game. I don't know if he realizes it or not. Here comes Charlie Manuel. Charlie's walking out. And now Victorino shoves away Tim Cheetah and goes over to Angel Hernandez. He has to be careful. He's been thrown out of the ball game, and that means the Phillies have to make a move, and they've lost their leadoff hitter for the rest of this ball game.
No, there's no reason, though, I don't think, to throw him out. You get fined for throwing. Now, that's a check swing. Don't think he went on that. Now he says he goes. That's awful.
We go to the 7th. It's 4-3 Washington.
Well, Washington Nationals giving the Phillies all they can handle here this afternoon as they lead this one 4-3 in the 3-run home run by Michael Morse there in the 6th inning with 2 outs and the bases loaded and the 3-2 count. He hit the ball in the ballpark, and that's the difference in the game. Brian Schneider has a 2-run double. Jason Worth with an RBI hit. Shane Victorino just ejected from the game. He does not swing at this. That is not a swing, but Angel Hernandez said it was, and that's all that matters. And
look at the reaction for the bench. That right there, he had the equipment fine.
Yeah.
And that's what Angel Hernandez pointed to him. And then Shane turned away, and then he threw him out. Now, Shane may have said something that Angel Hernandez heard. So now Jason Worth is in center field, and Ben Francisco comes on to play right field. So Ivan Rodriguez leads it off against Danny Baez.
Well, you hope at this point in the season that if something happens, a player gets himself thrown out of the game, and we don't know. Because you can't get thrown out of a game.
Well, that's the thing. You know, it makes Charlie have to adjust his lineup, and you lose your leadoff hitter who's been so hot.
Yeah, and you lose your center fielder, and Shane's a very good defensive center fielder. Not that Jason Worth isn't. But you weaken your defense by doing that because Ben Francisco isn't as good an outfielder as Jason Worth, nor neither one of them than Victorino nor than Worth. So you just weakened yourself.
I thought when Angel had given him the equipment fine, he was just going to let it go. But Shane must have said something that caused Angel Hernandez to pull the trigger on him. So it's unfortunate for the Phils as Alberto Gonzalez will be the batter. He's pinch hitting for Washington.
Well, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. It started with the 3-run home run. Everybody's got to calm down. You got 9 outs to go. You're down by a run. One thing we mentioned early in the game and when this series started was the strong point of the Nationals is their bullpen late in the game if they have a lead. And it's going to be late in the game and they have a lead. So you're going to have to beat their better pitchers today.
Gonzalez is hitting .274 with no homers and 4 RBIs. And a strike, and it's 2-1. Sean Burnett, a piece of that bullpen late that's been very good lately. He's loosening up because the Phillies, when they come up in the bottom of the 7th inning, will have Polanco, Utley, and Howard. And it's 2-2 to Gonzalez. I hope that Shane does not get suspended or anything because he did move away Tim Cheetah, the home plate umpire, when he went down to argue with Angel Hernandez. That's certainly not a player that the Phillies want to go into the next couple weeks without. I should say the last couple weeks. 2-2 the count. Back toward the middle, cut off by Baez, and there are 2 away. A couple clean outs for Danny Baez. Well, these lucky fans are today's Citizen 7. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. Joe Blanton today handled Danny Espinosa. He got him 3 times on strikes. Joe went 6 innings and allowed 4 runs. He struck out 8. And that first pitch got a piece of Schneider's glove and Tim Cheetah.
Umpires aren't real crazy about that when that happens.
Opposite way for Espinosa. And it slices out of play.
And Brian Schneider certainly did not mean to deflect that ball into his mask. He meant to catch it, but it happens.
He just asked if he was okay.
Yeah. They protect each other back there. That's part of the deal. They sure try to.
Another one the opposite way. That's well hit. Ibanez is going back, and that one is gone. An opposite field home run for Danny Espinosa, his 4th of the year, and it's 5-3 Washington. Boy, after getting the first two batters very easily, Baez gives up the long ball.
Remember, we talked about Espinosa last night and heard that he has really good opposite field power when he bats left-handed. He almost hit a home run last night. And he really drove this pitch. You can see he's strong. And he said Joe Blanton made him look really bad. But Joe used a lot of off-speed stuff on him. That was a high, hard fastball. And he hit that thing out to the opposite field. And that shows you some power there.
So it's 5-3 Washington. And a breaking ball over for strike to Ian Desmond. Desmond singled his last time up, stole second, came around to score on the home run by Morse.
Shadows are coming out here now too, and this is the point of the game we want to have the lead, and they don't. Meaning the Phillies don't.
There's J.C. Romero loosening up. Another curve and another foul. Espinosa hit 22 home runs in the minors this year. That's his fourth one in the majors.
Well, like most hitters, they want to hit fastballs. They don't want to hit all that junk. And, he got a fastball to handle there.
Teddy Baez was on the disabled list with a stiff back. And Charlie, who's very familiar with Danny Baez from their days together in Cleveland, was hoping he'd come back healthy. Pitched an inning against the Marlins on the 13th. He had gone 4 scoreless innings before that home run by Espinosa. Jason Worth in his first chance and stepping over into center for Shane Victorino. And the side is retired here in the 7th. Phillies give up another home run to Danny Espinosa this time. So they trail it by 2. We go to the bottom of the 7th, and Placido Polanco will lead it off for the Phils. ...2007. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. And thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans. So we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. And the Phillies trail at 5-3 after the home run by Danny Espinosa. And it'll be Placido Polanco leading it off against Sean Burnett, making his 67th start. He's 0-7, a 2.45 ERA, 54 strikeouts at 55 innings. So teams have gotten to him. Lefties are hitting 284 against him. Righties are hitting 190 against him. We mentioned before, though, the Nationals have a few guys who are riding out some scoreless strings, and Burnett's one of them. 9 consecutive innings without allowing a run. Celebrated a birthday in the first game of the series, and you see the bullpen for Washington. Phillies have gotten a lot of runs against the starting pitchers. Now against the bullpen, in 14 innings, they've allowed 8 hits, but only 2 earned runs. So here we go, bottom of the 7th. Phillies trying to come from behind again. They were behind early in the first 2 games and behind late here. Polanco was hit by a pitch his last time up and scored. And he takes one low and in, 1 ball and no strikes. Storyline today, a couple home runs for the Nationals. Mike Morse, a 3-run shot. Danny Espinosa, a solo shot. And the fact that the Phillies have left 5 runners in scoring position.
Well, Polanco starting off this at bat really trying to just get on base right here and get that tying run up as soon as you can.
There's Chase Utley. He is hoping he's the tying run. If Polly can get aboard. And he'll get aboard. A liner to center field. A base hit for Polanco. Polly looks like he's discarded that big thick wrap from his elbow. And he's got just a little bandage on that left elbow.
Yeah, and thankfully the pitch that hit him would have hit him in the rib cage area or
a little low. Right on the belt buckle.
Yeah, a little
right on the
lower.
belt, I should say.
Yeah, there's the wrap that Tom's talking about, kind of a sleeve.
So now the heart of the order is up for the Phils. Chase Utley. Chase reached on an infield single his first time up. He's grounded out. He's also flied out to right field.
Up to Burnett right now, even though Worth is due after Howard. Right-handed hitter, nobody up in the bullpen. Ibanez, a left-handed hitter, then to follow Jason.
And the first pitch fastball for a strike to Chase. And now trying to stir things up. Taking some pictures. Blocking some views. Does all of that well.
So other people can't take pictures.
Down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Fanatic will be down that dugout before long, though, trying to stir everything up. He's so good at that. See Chase really starting to hit left-handed pitching better. There he is up there in the crowd.
Blending in beautifully.
Yeah. That green doesn't stick out at all.
Nope. The green, that's it. 2-1 to Chase.
So far, Burnett pitching behind hitters.
Back toward the middle. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Utley follows Polanco's single with a single of his own. 2 aboard here in the 7th. That's a good start.
Yep. Ryan Howard, you need a good at bat out of him. You'd have to hit a 3-run home run here. You know, that'd be nice, but just keep the rally going. Burnett made a pretty good pitch here on Chase. You see him fight it off. And, you know, he is really swinging the bat well, working the counts. He's ahead in the count now a lot. He's walking a lot, and you can tell spring training's over for him.
So that'll bring Ryan Howard to the plate here in the 7th. Up in New York, they've gone to the bottom of the 9th. The Braves lead at 6-3. No Billy Wagner today. It'll be Kimbrel who's on to try to close it out in the 9th inning for the Braves.
That guy throws 98, 99.
Ryan takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Ryan is 2 for 6 lifetime against Burnett with a double and 3 walks. Tyler Clippard up and throwing, maybe for Jason Worth, who's on deck.
Yeah, they mentioned they didn't have a right-hander up, and then Clippard just jumped up. Two fastballs right down the middle. Almost like he was up there looking for breaking balls right out of the chute, and he got 2 heaters to hit.
And 3 pitches, and Ryan is retired.
Another fastball.
Let's see what Jim Riggleman does with Jason Worth 2 up.
Probably not a strike. Isn't a strike.
We're going to stay with Burnett with Ibanez on deck, another left-hander. He's trying to make some hay here in the 7th inning. Here's Raul.
Just got a base hit last time up in the first pitch, knocked in a run.
1-4 against Burnett. That one was a home run. Phillies led it 3-1 going into the 6th. Then the Nationals scored 3 runs and a home run by Mike Morse. They tacked on another one in the 7th on a homer by Espinosa. So they lead it 5-3. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jason. Jason's really shaking out that wrist. Polanco's at second base. Utley's over at first. Jason today has 2 hits and 3 at bats. He scored his 98th run earlier in the game, which tied his career high set last year. And a swing and a miss and a breaking ball. 2 outs. Back-to-back strikeouts for Burnett. Fastballs to Ryan Howard. A slider there to Worth. And that'll bring Raul Ibanez to the plate.
He threw a bunch of fastballs to Jason Worth, too, and then finally threw a breaking ball there and got him to chase.
And here is Raul Ibanez, who's been hot. A couple hits today. 7 hits in the series. And he takes a fastball for strike 1.
Well, the last 3 hitters have been throwing get-ahead fastballs and have been able to do it, and they've taken them.
Jim Riggleman's hoping the back end of his bullpen can neutralize the front end of the Phillies offense.
And that
nearly got him.
Wow, that's hard to believe that missed him. Carlos Ruiz out the bat for Schneider. It did. That uniform was trying to catch that ball. Numbers against Burnett.
Phillies don't have a whole lot of at-bats against Burnett. Threw a breaking ball there, and it's 2-2. That was a really slow slider.
His breaking ball is kind of like a slurve.
Yep.
And you see Ibanez, opening up early there, trying to drive a fastball, and he got the breaking ball.
Little number foul.
Playing we're a little towards left center a little bit with the center fielder Bernardini. Has a huge gap in right center. Morse is in a no doubles defense. It looks like in right field, or else he's just playing really deep. More just playing really deep. But you see all this area that he has in here, and basically they feel that he's not going to be able to pull him, or they're going to pitch him away. So that's why they set the defense that way. Second baseman is way out on the grass because Espinosa can play out there with 2 outs. Try and cut something off.
Plus he has a shortstop's arm, so he can range deep and still make the play.
And you don't have to worry about any double play or force out second.
On the hands, and it's caught by Espinosa, who had him played perfectly. And the side is retired. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left for the Phils. We go to the 8th. The Nationals lead it by 2. Phone and internet reinvented from Comcast. Now the Phillies trail at 5-3 as we go to the top of the 8th. Beautiful afternoon here at Citizens Bank Park. It's a final up at Citi Field. And the Braves have accomplished what the Phillies hoped to accomplish in this series against the Nationals. They have swept out the Mets. They won that one 6-3. Derek Lowe got the win. R.A. Dickey the loss. And here's J.C. Romero in his 55th game.
Yeah, they did what they had to do. And a couple big grand slams. Hayward hit one the other night for, to give them a win. And then Derek Lee hit one today.
So as Romero goes to work here in the 8th, he'll face Ryan Zimmerman, Adam Dunn, and Roger Bernardina. Zimmerman is 0 for 3. And it's no balls and 1 strike to him. Danny Baez won an inning, allowed the home run to Espinosa. In relief of Joe Blanton, who went the first 6 for the Phillies, allowed 4 runs, struck out 8. And a number foul, and it's no balls and 2 strikes to Zimmerman. There's Jose Contreras loosening up. Phillies wanted to be able to give Ryan Matson the day off today. He's worked a lot lately. And they're trying to get an inning out of J.C. Romero here, or at least part of it, with Adam Dunn due up and Bernardina after him. Little number back toward the mound. JC has it. Throws low, and Ryan Howard digs it out. And one out here in the 8th. Hey, the Be a Fanatic About Reading program is open for teachers who are interested in getting their classrooms involved. It's a free program encouraging children to read for at least 15 minutes a day. Kindergarten through 8th grade classes are eligible to participate. Teachers should email FANDEV, that's FANDEV, at Phillies.com for more information. Classrooms receive bookmarks, pencils, posters, and a chance to win a visit from the Fanatic himself. Well, one away. Here's Adam Dunn. Dunn has flied out to deep center. Single back in the 4th. Walked and scored his last time up. And JC throws a changeup for strike 1. Other games around baseball today that are important. One that's just getting underway. Colorado in Los Angeles. Let's see if Clayton Kershaw can slow down the Rockies offense. Jeff Francis is starting for the Rockies. San Diego is losing to the Cardinals in the 8th inning, and the Giants are playing the Brewers. That one's just underway. Three and 2 the count to Dunn. Well, that was a little self-defense. He didn't know if that was a ball or a strike. He just wanted to try to stay alive.
It's the old emergency swing.
Yeah. Angel Hernandez getting booed over at 3rd for his kick save, and really not a beauty.
Put the ball in his back pocket. He'll probably go over and toss it to a fan after a while. Just don't get too close over there.
And a called strike 3. Whoops. Dunn just flips his bat.
And he grabbed it quick and headed back.
Yeah, the crowd wants Angel Hernandez to throw him out, just as they felt Shane Victorino was thrown out kind of quick.
I don't think Sheeta saw him do it. I don't know if you give a guy an equipment fine for this. He thought that pitch was low, and there he just flips the bat, and look how quick he grabs it and starts trotting out of there. That nobody saw that. I'm only 7 foot tall. That's all. I don't think anybody saw me do that.
Here's Bernardino with 2 outs here in the 8th inning.
300 pounds. I'll just go hide.
He is a big dude.
Yeah.
Bernardino is 0 for 3, 0 for 9 in the series. And a little looper towards center. And Jason Worth coming on. Can't get there. Ibanez backs it up, but Bernardino is going to be at second. And he's there standing. That's the 17th double of the year for Bernardino.
Roger Bernardino can run, and he busted it out of the batter's box and got that double by the way he ran out of the box. Jason Worth got caught in between a little bit here and deciding whether he could catch it or not. And then once it gets by him, see Bernardino there, hits it. Now look how hard he runs right away. And now Jason can't quite get there. It's backed up by Raul, but it's an easy double for him.
Well, Morse has the big hit today, and they're going to walk him intentionally. So instead of facing the right-hander, Mike Morse, who hit a 3-run home run his last time up, and the Phillies are going to deal with Willie Harris instead of making a pitching change here.
And then it depends on whether they do have another good outfielder in Maxwell. So, you know, if they don't want Harris hitting off Romero, they could bring a pinch hitter off the bench. We'll see what they'll do.
Yeah, they could bring Kevin Menchoff if they want to.
Because they do have another outfielder. But looks like Harris is going to hit.
So there's intentional ball 4. Mike Morse will take his spot over at first.
Here's a 3-2 pitch. It looked like it was a fastball down the middle, and he hit it out to right center. He's really strong, and he showed it there. He'd fouled a pitch back before that, almost struck out.
He had a changeup. Willie Harris homered back to the third. That home run gave the Nationals a 1-0 lead at the time. And he takes strike 1. Struck out in the 5th, grounded out his last time to the plate.
And they just like Willie Harris hitting here no matter what, whether it's left or not, and they can always replace it for defense. They want to go that route.
See his numbers against Romero, 5 strikeouts against JC. And it's quickly 0-2.
Phillies did have Contreras up in the bullpen.
Morse is on first. Bernardina's on second. There's Jose. And JC kind of overthrew that one. Made Brian Schneider move a little bit. Whew, 3 for 14 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, it's been one of those days.
Little looper to left field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Bernardina's around third, heading for home. The throw to the plate, offline, and another run for the Nationals. It's 6-3 Washington. Lefty against lefty, and Willie Harris picks up his second RBI of the afternoon. And it looks like it's going to be it for J.C. Romero.
Yeah, they win that battle. They decide to go with the left, and it certainly worked out. And then that ball took a couple of funny hops out there where Ibanez couldn't come and charge and get it on one hop and throw. And Bernardino, with that speed, he made that double, set up this whole inning by going to second base on that ball that bounced away from the outfielder.
So a pitching change here at Citizens Bank Park. The Phils down by 3 with 2 on and 2 outs. Yep. Yep. And the Nationals are still batting with 2 aboard and 2 outs. Jose Contreras is the new pitcher for the Phillies. 63rd game for Jose. 6-3, a 3.38 earned run average. Phillies are trying to get to 28 games over the 500 mark. More importantly, though, with the Braves beating the Mets earlier, 6-3, they completed a 3-game sweep of New York. The Phillies are trying to keep their lead in the division at 3, with the Braves heading south here to Philadelphia for a 3-game series. J.C. Romero was just lifted by Charlie Manuel after allowing a run on a couple of hits, 1 intentional walk. And now Contreras will face Ivan Rodriguez with 2 on. Rodriguez has 2 hits today. He's also grounded out to shortstop. Look at all those at-bats against Contreras from their days in the American League.
Yeah, Contreras a starting pitcher in those days.
And the first pitch is a little low, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Phillies in the bottom of the 8th will have Brian Schneider, Wilson Valdez, and Ben Francisco due up. Let's see if Charlie uses any pinch hitters. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to Rodriguez.
Looks like it's going to be Clippard in the 8th.
Clippard in the 8th and probably Drew Storen in the 9th.
Yeah, Storen's doing a good job closing for them. He's got a heavy sinking fastball. Guy they drafted just for that reason.
There's Tyler Clippard. Philly starters this year have an earned run average of 3.65. The relievers right at 4 coming into this game. Second fewest hits in the league. 5th fewest walks in the league. And off the end of the bat, a floater to right center field. Francisco cuts in front of Jason Worth. And Contreras leaves a couple here in the 8th inning. 1 run on 2 hits. 2 men left for the Nationals. We've played 7.5. The Phils trail it by 3. Definitive pictorial history of the Phils. It features over 400 photos plus rare pieces of memorabilia and original essays from the Phillies stars past and present. It's a 252-page book. You can get it by calling 877-GO-PHILS or in the park at the Majestic Clubhouse store, online in the fan section at Phillies.com. Some changes for the Nationals as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Roger Bernardino moves over to left field for Washington. And the new center fielder is Justin Maxwell. Willie Harris goes from left field over to the right field. So this is all defensive replacements now for Washington. Mike Morse moves from right field to first base. Boy, it's like a spring training game.
Yeah.
Everybody moving around. And the new pitcher is Tyler Clippard, a right-hander. And he is the workhorse out of this Nationals pen. 76 games. 9-6, a 2.94 earned run average.
See where they're going to bat Clippard. He probably only pitched 1 inning, so they could have batted them straight up. We'll see.
Well, it looks like he's listed as the number 9 hitter.
Yeah.
Maxwell's the only new addition for Washington. What I mean by new addition is the only guy that can hit offensively.
And he would hit in Dunn's spot. And he's the only guy to leave the lineup.
Brian Schneider's 2 for 3 today. And he's out in front of a changeup, but it's 0-2. First 28 games this year. How about Clippard with 8 wins in those first 28 games for Washington? A looper to center field. That's going to drop in for another base hit for Schneider. Maxwell froze, and then he took an odd angle. I'm not sure if he would have gotten to it anyway, but Brian Schneider has a 3-hit afternoon.
Yeah, a lot of outfielders will freeze on the ball when a guy takes a big swing like that. They can't always hear the sound as well as you could hear it like we can with a crowd mic. And you could tell he got jammed here, and that ball's just going to flare out there. And he was playing him towards left center. He had no chance to get there.
So here's Wilson Valdez. Wilson's 0 for 3 today. He's hit in 6 straight, 9 for his last 28. Trying to keep the train moving here in the 8th. Not this time. To the right side, into foul territory, Mike Morse. And that's the first out. And Ben Francisco, who came on to play right field when Shane Victorino was ejected, will bat for the first time. The pitcher's spot for the Phillies, the leadoff spot. That's where Contreras is. And Ross Gload is out of the on-deck circle for the Phils. There's Ross. Hoping Francisco can get on, and then he comes up with his tying run. Towering pop-up on the right side. Espinosa didn't see it right away. Now he's got it. Oh, after the base hit by Schneider. 2 pitches. 2 pitches to get the first 2 outs. So here's Ross Gload. Gload, a .286 hitter. 22 runs batted in, 6 RBIs. He's been the Phillies' best pinch hitter this year. Gload is 14 for 59 as a pinch hitter. So this is his 60th at bat. 3 home runs, 9 runs batted in. And the first pitch is a little high. Colorado's jumped out to a 2-0 lead over the Dodgers in the first inning. San Francisco leads the Brewers 4-0 in the second.
Good at bat by Ross Gload. Is such a good pinch hitter. One of the hardest jobs to do in baseball. Taking a few pitches there, trying to get ahead in the count. A little bit of a cloud cover right now too. That the shadows aren't as bad as they could be. It's not real bright. So I don't know whether you can say that it's a good hitter's background, but it sure could be a lot worse if the sun were out brightly right now. Maybe take a look at the way the shadows look.
2-1 the count to Gload. 2-2. Took a big swing.
When he threw a changeup there, and that's what Clipper does. He throws fastball changeup for the most part. And you know, like all guys like Matson will do that a lot of times. So a guy sitting on a fastball and a fastball count will throw a changeup and make him look bad. And Ryan Matson's very good at that.
And Ross stays alive. And it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Following this game, the Phils will have 6 left against the Braves, 3 against the Mets, 3 against the Nationals. And the first of those 6 tomorrow night at 7:05 here at the ballpark. And a swing and a miss. And the Phillies go down quietly here in the 8th. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. We've completed 8. On to the 9th with the Nationals leading at 6-3. John and Mike have the answers you want, plus all the highlights and insights on the Xfinity Phillies postgame show right after the game on MyPHL 17. Top of the ninth, Phillies trail at 6-3. And Vance Worley is the new pitcher for the Phils. Third game for Vance. He has appeared in one game as a reliever, one game as a starter. Since the last time we saw Vance, he has a new haircut. Got that down in Florida. Said it was getting a little out of control. I don't know how that feels, but we go to the ninth and he'll face Kevin Mensch. Kevin Mensch will pinch hit for Tyler Clippard. And Mensch fouls the first pitch back, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Speaking of Delaware, where Kevin Mensch played, he played with Vince Vukovic when he was a college ball player. And he hits one off the end of the bat. He'll be caught by Ryan Howard. First out. It was nice to see Nikki Vukovic today and her whole family up here in the booth, Wheels.
Husband Brian, Nikki and Brian, and the triplets. The 3 little girls.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they are really cute. One of them looks a lot like Johnny, too.
Yep.
She kind of had a... Nikki said to me, he said, see the way she's looking at you? I went, yeah.
She wanted to play hot cold with you, didn't
she? Well, Nikki said, you think she's about ready to yell at you right now, don't you? I said, yeah, it's a little scary looking at her. She was a really cute Johnny.
Well, the triplets are beautiful, and I think we said it was good to see them here at the ballpark today. By the way, Delaware beat Duquesne yesterday in football, 30-6. So Dallas Green had a little hop in his step today. Here's Espinosa. He homered his last time up. 1 for 4. And it's no balls at 2 strikes. Last time the Phillies lost a game here at home, Vance Worley started it. And he didn't pitch badly. He lost to the Florida Marlins that afternoon. Phillies went on to win the next 3 games. And it's even now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good chance for Vance Worley to get into a major league game here, try to pitch a scoreless inning, give the Phillies a chance to come back in the bottom of the 9th inning down by 3. They just have to stay away from a few guys today, and you know that was the game plan, and they hope they could, you know, wouldn't be behind, and or if you got into this type of game, they would just have to use some different people. They used Baez today. They're using Worley. They just can't keep using Durbin, Lidge, and Matson every game.
Towards shortstop, he went quickly, and Valdez throws it over quickly. 2 outs.
And Lidge hasn't been used as much, but Durbin and Matson have really been used.
Every time the Phillies pitchers retire the opposing team in order, which Joe Blanton did twice today in the 1st and 2nd. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Xfinity Triple Play, your complete lineup for digital TV, high-speed internet, and home phone. Well, 2 outs now in the top of the 9th, and Ian Desmond is the batter. By the way, in the bottom of the 9th, the Phils have the big guns due up. Polanco, Utley, and Ryan Howard. And they'll be up against Drew Storen, the closer for the National. He's firing away right now in the pen. Trying to keep this at a 3-run deficit. Here's Storen. Looks like he's wearing Jose Mesa's glove.
Yeah. He used to have the red glove, the blue glove.
Yep. A looper out towards second. That's going to be over the head of Chase Utley. A base hit for Desmond, his 2nd hit of the day. And a 2-out single for Ryan Zimmerman.
Well, the Nationals have scored their last 5 runs with 2 outs. 3-run homer, solo homer, and then a 2-out single.
Let's hope that omen doesn't continue. That pattern.
Yeah. Well, they're backbreakers. You know, when they're against you, and they're a huge momentum swing for you.
Phillies had a chance early on to really put this game away. They had first and third with nobody out in second and didn't score. They finally scored a couple runs in the fourth and then one more in the third. But that's been it offensively. They've had a lot of base runners today against the Nationals. It's just one of those days that a team that has been so good with runners in scoring position has had trouble this afternoon getting a hit with a runner in scoring position.
Now all of a sudden the sun has come out really bright. So the shadows are a little bit tougher now for the hitters, I would think. See how bright it is now. He comes Worley kind of, I haven't seen that much of, but he kind of comes across his body a little bit with that breaking ball right there, and you can see Zimmerman give a little ground. Kind of crossfires you a little. So he steps towards third and then does that, and right-handed hitters don't like that.
That's a pretty good pitch right there. He gets Zimmerman looking, leaves one at first. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Last chance for the Phils, trailing it by 3 with Placido Polanco due up. And 3-3, 4 saves in 5 opportunities, a 3.10 earned run average. He's allowed some base runners, 62 base runners in 49 in the third. He's a guy who throws hard, and as Wheels mentioned, he was selected in the first round in last year's draft, right after Steven Strasburg, and he was selected basically to be the closer of the future for Washington. Well, the future's now.
There's the bullpen today note, and that was one of the things we talked about setting up this series on Friday, that you didn't want to get behind these guys if you could avoid it, because the strong point of their team are their pitchers late in the game, and today that has come true, and hopefully that will end right now.
That's right. The Phillies have the strong point of their team due up with Polanco leading it off here in the bottom of the ninth. It's 6-3 Washington. Polanco today has been on base twice, and he takes a fastball for strike one. Storen's, he's not a big guy. He's 6'2". I say that for a closer. He looks smaller than 6'2".
Yeah, he's fastball, slider, changeup, but mostly hard stuff. Got the hat with the flat brim look. What was it? Cordero, Chad Cordero for these guys for so many years.
Former Expo and National first-round pick as well. Pitched this year with the Seattle Mariners. He was a good closer during his heyday, but it was a short period of time. 1-1 to Polanco. And a late swing, and it's 1-2.
That's a hard to see the baseball type of swing.
Storen is out of Stanford University, where he saved 15 games during his career. And Polanco's aboard to start the ninth. He just dragged that one right through the hole on the left side. That's his second hit.
Good job by Polanco to stay with a breaking ball there that was up a little bit and just hit it through the hole.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, some news around the rest of the National League. The Cardinals hung on and defeated the Padres 4-1. So the West has the Padres and the Giants in a dead heat. The Rockies a half game back. You know, at the end of today, if the Giants wind up losing, you could have a three-way tie essentially in the West, although the Giants are winning right now 4-0 in the third.
Well, one of them has one less game.
Right.
One of them has a 4-game series coming up.
I think it's the Rockies.
Yeah, they have a 4-game series. Somebody does.
Here's Chase with a runner at first. And Chase takes the first fastball for a strike. It's 0-1.
Or at least has a 4-game series at some point.
Chase has 2 hits today. Chase and Polanco began the 7th with back-to-back singles. Phillies couldn't get anything out of it. Opposite way down the left field line. If it's fair, it's extra bases. It's a fair ball and it hits to the corner. Polanco stops at third. Utley's at second. Back-to-back hits for the Phils. Runners on second and third with nobody out.
Boy, that's a nice job by Chase Utley. Hit a fastball the other way. Here it is. It's a fastball away. And he hits it towards the left field corner. You see, he froze for just a second to see where it was. He was trying to pick it up. Then see if it's fair, and it's fair by a lot.
And Chase pulls into second, safe and secure, with New York life.
Well, here's where we were 2 innings ago. The same 2 guys got hits to start the innings, and then they went strikeout after that.
A little bit louder here at the ballpark, though. Here at the bottom of the ninth, Raleigh caps are on. Oh, man. Raleigh outfits are on. That was a human rally towel that young man was wearing. Look at that. Must have taken some time. 0-1 the count to Howard. 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. Line drive toward right center. That'll drop in for a base hit. Polanco scores. Here comes Utley right on his tail. It's bobbled by Maxwell. A 2-run single for Howard. And it's a 1-run game. And they're not done dancing in the stands just yet.
Okay, they were in a no doubles defense. And that's why Maxwell was able to get off and get over there and quickly cut that ball off. And then he bobbled it. But, you know, Ryan Howard just is not running very well. He took a hard turn at first base. But, you know, he couldn't get the second. There was a sinking fastball down and away. You see, he busted out of the box. Good angle there for Maxwell to cut it off. Then it clanks off his glove, off his knee. But no chance for Ryan to go to second. And that's big for them because it keeps a double play in order.
And Steve McCatty's out to the mound. Boy, how about Craig Stammen's up and loosening in the bullpen?
Yep. Storen is not getting the job done right now.
And the Phillies have Jason Worth due up. Phillies have cut this lead to 1 here in the bottom of the ninth. Still nobody out. It's a chance for some more.
Give them a lot of credit here the way they're coming after them here in the 9th inning, because they hadn't done much for a while.
13 hits now for the Phillies. That's a pattern for the Phils here in September. The other pattern is picking up base hits with runners in scoring position. They've deviated today, but maybe they're arriving a little late to the party.
Now, once again, the outfielders are really, really deep. There's Jimmy Rollins, who hasn't played for a while, and you see how deep those outfielders are. So they're trying to stay away from an extra base hit here.
Howard,
excuse me, Tom, they're not guarding the line with Zimmerman.
The first pitch up high, it's 1-0. By the way, that look of Jimmy in the dugout, not that there's a spot to use him right here. It didn't look like he even had his jersey on underneath that windbreaker. 1-0 the count to Jason.
There you see Zimmerman way off the line. That's just the preference.
2-0.
And they're not willing to give up a single in the hole to guard against the double down the line.
We got a pretty good pitch to hit there. It's 2-1. Jason has been swinging the bat very well in this series. He has 5 hits. Look at this cut.
Oh, he had a fastball in it there too, running right back in the happy zone. And he had a good swing at it, fouled it straight back. Now they're moving Maxwell to left center.
3 balls, 1 strike the count.
He was in right center, and now all of a sudden they moved him over, so he has a big gap in left center and right center field.
Miguel Batista has joined Stammen in the bullpen.
There you go. See how much room there is out in here.
Jason stays alive. It's 3-2. Back with a slider, and he just got a piece of it. More than 44,000 on hand. If Jason gets a hit, somebody better pick that kid up and start waving him around.
Have a good swing.
Charlie's team has been very resilient this year in so many ways, playing with so many injuries, coming from behind so often. That's really been the case since this core has settled in together. And now time is called. There's Carlos Ruiz just in case. He's waiting behind Raul Ibanez. Again, it's 3-2 to Jason Worth. In the air to left center field. Going back is Maxwell to the warning track, to the wall. Gone! Jason Worth, a game-winning 2-run home run. How about that?
Wow.
In so many ways, wow. Unbelievable.
Soak this in, baby. This is some finish.
What a September for the Phillies.
Man, oh man.
Did he crush that one?
You know, we just said what good swings he was having at him. And, you know, the ball's really been carrying here today. And when that went up, I don't think that's a home run. And it just kept going and going. Whoa, what a huge, huge hit for Jason. And it's hard to explain how big that one is, huh?
4 batters came up in the ninth. All 4 scored, and the Phillies pulled one right out of their back pocket. A 2-run home run by Jason Worth against Drew Storen, and the Phillies remain 3 games up in the National League East, and here come the Braves. Pretty easy to choose this one.
Well, great swings Jason had. A fastball after fastball. He got a middle-in fastball, hit it way up in the air. I don't know what he knew it, whether he thought it had a chance. Then it looked like it was going to hit the wall, and then it goes over the railing out there into one of the deepest parts of the ballpark. And I guess he thought it had a chance when he hit it.
Sure did.
Look at it carry, right over the fence. Oh, man.
That is unbelievable. Sarge, take it away, big boy. Well, Sarge is down to the
getting congratulations from your teammate. You're a fastball hitter. You fought off a tough slider, and then you came back with a fastball there. I think you knew you got it out when you hit it.
Yeah, I hit pretty good. Fouled off some good pitches, took some good swings, and just another time where we refuse to say die, and we got a long way to go this season. We've come back from a lot, and here we are with 12 games to go.
September seems to be the month. You say that you're a streaky hitter. What a streak that you're in, though. Even now, though, I mean, you've had a year where it's been a good year. Don't get me wrong. But now you seem to be coming into your own, finding your swing. How's that feel?
It feels great. It's been an up and down year. Statistically, it's probably been one of my better years. But, I've been frustrated at times, not hitting with guys on base. And I'm just glad to put one in the seats today and get us to win.
Well, you hit with men on base there. Great game-winning RBI. We'll have you on again. Congratulations.
Thanks, Sarge.
All right, guys, back to you.
All right, Sarge, thank you very much. Jason Worth, the big home run. A 2-run shot. It turned out to be the game winner. What a celebration. Holy cow, the Phils win another